listening to a song called Woozy, bro. You ever heard the song Woozy with Ludacris? And I think it's Ludacris and R. Kelly, actually. And they was talking about some shit like that. And I was like, wow, like that song came out back in like 2006. That was on his like Release Therapy album. I was like, bro, when I was listening to it in real time, like I never heard what he said. But listening to it again, I'm just like, bro, these niggas are talking wild, bro.
Yeah, they got spicy. They got spicy.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So now this is a matchup Rice has. Sykes bucket.
Got it! Bayhard Darby wins it!
This shit crazy. Shout out to my nigga Keeper Sykes too, bro. Shout out to my nigga. We trying to get him on the podcast, man. I'm in talks with Darren right now to get him on the podcast. But this shot in the TBT last night, legendary. So definitely shout out to my man. All right.
Didn't he get signed today?
He did. He got signed by the Pacers, bro. What's good, Ron? What's good?
That's dope.
Yes, sir. All right, let's start.
You are now listening to the Q&E podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? Well, come and get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E podcast, and you're here with your boy Q Hicks right now. And I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Q&E podcast. Today, we got Derek on with us. Going to talk a lot about this NBA free agency.
Yes,
Whole frenzy going on, man. A lot of big names going a lot of big places. A lot of big money being thrown. We got a lot to talk about, man.
But are they going to be factors, though? Are they going to be factors? Because it is a lot of money getting thrown around. But who are the real winners? Y'all see what shirt I'm wearing today? Miami all day. That's all I want to say, bro. Before we dive too deep in it, that's all I want to say, bro. Y'all know who I'm rocking with. That's my home team. But before we get into anything, man, subscribe to all of our social media platforms and also all of our podcast platforms, man. Edgar, hit them with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to us on YouTube at Q and Signee Podcast, and our Gmail is QANDE podcast@gmail.com.
And y'all already know what time it is, man. We got my nigga Derek in the building today, man. Derek, bro, tell them where they can find you at.
No,
so I'm gonna introduce your ass. You so regular on this bitch now.
We're not blowing past his comment.
I'm not even acknowledging.
He's speaking facts. Heat versus Lakers, the rematch. That's factual. That's factual.
It's possible, but.
Possible, not. Yeah.
This nigga a Heat fan and he doubting. See, that's why I be questioning this nigga, bro.
I'm not.
This nigga be back and forth. This nigga too back and forth. But let's dive.
I don't know if I'm gonna confidently say it.
Derek, do you want to plug your social medias or do you want to dive right into this shit?
Yeah, well, at Derek_OTS, DERRICK, black way to spell it. At OTS guys, all social media platforms.
This nigga here, bro. All right, bro. Let's dive into the NBA free agency, bro. Y'all already know what time it is. Like Edgar said, a lot of money has been moved around. But what was you guys' biggest reaction and probably biggest winners from free agency so far? It's been 3 days. How do you guys feel about it right now?
I'll let Derek go first.
Winners. You may give my winner.
Yeah, give you winners. Biggest winner.
Biggest one. Well, I think one of the underrated winners is Chicago. To be completely honest, I think that's a very underrated team. You get Lonzo with.
Are they a factor?
DeRozan.
Are they a factor
in the East? Yeah,
the East, bro. It's a lot of people that can be a threat in the East.
Right.
DeRozan, Lonzo, Levine, Vooch. That's talent, nah.
Yeah.
You can compete with that.
Yeah, you can compete. Daniel Tice went to Houston. I don't know what they're looking like with depth right now. I think Kelly Olynyk went up there, if I'm not mistaken.
He might have.
Yeah, but I don't want to say what seed I see them going yet. I kind of want to let the rest of the offseason play out before I start giving predictions.
Okay.
But I think between them, Houston, and the Knicks, I think we'll be seeing, and maybe even Indiana, I think we'll be seeing them vying for the lower half of the standings. And it's not. I don't think it's going to be a wide gap between teams in the East this year. I don't.
Hey, bro, shout out to my man, bro. What the Games Mean to Me podcast. Shout out to them. Lakers got a retirement home, but I like it. A lot of people have been saying that, Edgar, you are the LeBron James fan. So how do you feel about the team that was built over this past few days?
Hey, did y'all see the tweet? That
he deleted that shit, though.
But
does he believe it?
No. Hey, I don't know, man. He sounded real confident when he tweeted it. He loved the energy that everybody's giving right now. To answer the first question, though, before I dive into the Lakers stuff, I feel like the biggest winners from free agency so far, the Miami Heat for sure. We're big winners. Chicago, I agree with Derek. They're an underrated team that won through free agency. Another big winner, I'll say, is who's another big winner? What you call it? The Knicks by getting Kimball Walker. I thought that was a solid move.
That's something I want to dive into. Bro. Hey, Derek, I already know what you about to say. I already know so let's dive into the Knicks side of the equation. They ended up picking up Evan Fournier. They ended up picking up Kimball Walker. They brought back Taj Gibson. They had some nice pickups this offseason. But it was a lot of mixed emotions when I seen that Kimball pickup because last season, a lot of niggas was talking shit about Kimball. Niggas was saying Kimball was a defensive liability. Kimball wasn't shit. Kimball was washed. But when he got picked up by the Knicks, everybody going crazy in New York.
Everybody saying finals.
No, they saying finals. They doing it sense, man.
Like you're telling me Kimball Walker in Thibodeau's offense is going to get them to the finals. You're banking on his health.
To the finals? No. Anybody that's saying the finals?
No, y'all. I'm not saying y'all, but a lot of people I've seen.
Realistic, let's say second round. Do you believe this will push them, I guess, further to at least get to the second round? Will this move get them there in the East? But we just talked about all the other teams. Will this get them to the second round?
Think about the teams will likely be in the top 4, top 5.
Mm-hmm.
We know Brooklyn, healthy or not, they're still gonna make the playoffs. We know Milwaukee, of course, the reigning champs. Philly, always a factor. The Heat. Boston
got Trae Young and the Hawks.
Those are the top 5.
Hawks. That's 6 right there.
Yeah.
So
the New York Knicks are not doing better than what they did this year. Sorry, there's no way. It's a good team. I think it's a very solid team. There's no way in hell that I don't see them going into the second round.
But I want to get your opinion on like more so the Kimball Walker thing, like him being washed in Boston and him being like praised right now because he's going back home. Like, how do you feel like Kimball can still be somebody who can be that all-star level player?
I don't think you lean on him. I think because from what I remember, they were saying he had arthritis in the knee. You don't just get rid of arthritis. Like the whole if healthy type of thing doesn't get with me because he's not. He already said like a month or two ago he's not planning on sitting out back-to-backs. So if he's not sitting out back-to-backs this coming season, that means he's going to do more in terms of play, right?
Yeah.
He's likely going to wear the knee out faster. That they were trying to manage him last season to get to the playoffs.
And it still couldn't make it.
And I mean, we made the playoffs, but they didn't beat Brooklyn. And because he couldn't even contribute. He was playing and couldn't contribute. Like I think one game he scored like 6 points. Yeah. 6 points for like 30 plus minutes.
But if him coming back home could be a factor though, there. I think that energy of him being back home is Madison Square Garden. Like that's where he played a lot of his big games at UConn. Yeah. I don't agree with Rome with saying he's going to be a 23 point per game scorer, but I feel like he can still be that contributor that can push them to the second round. He's still a big enough player to do that for them.
They kept Derrick Rose too, so it's not like all the weight is on Kemba as far as like being that main guard. You got Derrick Rose in there. They could both even be on the floor at the same time, depending on who they play. So
and also the contract, like they didn't sign him for anything really. He got bought out by OKC and they signed him for peanuts really. So that's a kind of a steal. I understand like the frustration with him in Boston, like he getting paid 30-something million and he's not playing most of the time. But when you're getting somebody, he's probably getting $2 to $5 million. It's like we got to steal. If we're getting Kimball Walker, if we at least get close to that all-star level player, we won in that signing. So I understand it, and I can see why they could be winners in that aspect.
I don't disagree that they won in terms of being able to get someone for a cheap $8 million. Cool, but my point is with people saying that now, this now puts the New York Knicks, mainly Knicks fans, because I even had one call me as soon as this thing news hit. It's mainly Knicks fans that are saying they're going to the finals. Just hold your horses. It's not happening. I don't see that happening. But I do see that. I think it's going to be a good year for the Knicks for sure. Anything above what we've seen from the Knicks in the last 10 years is
they're happy with anything. If they make the playoffs and lose in the first round, they will be happy once again. So Knicks fans can have the high expectations, but they're happy with anything at this point, as long as they ain't going back to missing the playoffs and all of that other crazy shit. So let me get my winners. Y'all already know what time it is. The Heat are the biggest winners. I really don't want to talk about anybody else. And I also want to show love to the Bulls as well. Shout out to my nigga Mount because he been having a lot of crazy years with the Bulls. They've really been good since 2011 of the Derrick Rose year. So to see them at least going to be like a top 5 to top 6 seed potentially in the Eastern Conference with all of that talent. Like you have Levine, you got Vooch, you got all-star players at almost every position. You got Lonzo, a nice pickup. Kobe White off the bench. I do want to show them love as well because they're back in the conversation at least with all of that talent. But the Miami Heat won this with plain and simple. Getting the best player in free agency makes you a winner automatically, and then picking up somebody like a PJ Tucker and then getting Duncan Robinson back is crazy. And I want to share this secret with you guys too.
And you got Morris too.
And you got Morris too. Mm-hmm. We're not done. Y'all want to know who we picking up next?
Who we getting?
Think about who we getting up next. I'm gonna tell you some contracts. Y'all let me know who we getting. So
it ain't that many more names out there. So
we're not getting another free agent. I'm talking about deadline shit, some trade shit.
Oh, okay.
So Duncan Robinson getting paid $18 million. Hero is getting paid $4 million. PJ Tucker is getting paid $7 million. That all adds up to $29 million. Y'all want to know who else is getting paid $29 million? Brandon Jerome Ingram is getting paid that amount of money, and he will be traded to the Miami Heat in 2022 at the trade deadline because y'all already see what's going on in New Orleans. They are free agency losers. They didn't pick up anybody for my man Zion. So Zion gonna want out. They're gonna try to make quick fixes and trade Brandon Ingram for some shooters. You got Duncan Robinson, you got PJ Tucker, you got Hero. Those are the shooters you would want to build around Zion. We get Brandon Ingram and we have our scorer, our go-to scorer, and we still have most of the pieces that we need to win a championship. And if we make that move, we are NBA Finals champions. And I already see it right now because I already see what's going to happen in New Orleans. And I don't think Duncan Robinson stays past the trade deadline for the Heat. Even though he is a key player, I think flipping him for Brandon Ingram is an obvious no or obvious yes.
I don't want to disagree with you because that would be great for us. I just don't see the Heat doing that after giving out the amount of money that they did to Duncan Robinson. I feel like that was their way of saying because you've been telling me the whole time they would try to keep Duncan Robinson before they'll try to keep a Tyler Hero. So Tyler Hero involved in the trade.
Think about Brandon Ingram.
I can see Tyler Hero involved in the trade, of course, because like you said, he getting paid for. But Duncan Robinson, I don't know. I feel like they would keep him for all the reasons that you said. So.
Yeah, I mean that would be interesting if that happened. I'll tell you that.
Interesting.
It'll be interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that not a finals? Is that not a finals team with Lowry, Jimmy, Bam, and Brandon Ingram?
Oh, yeah, they're contenders for sure. I'm not saying that they're not. They're contenders as they are right now. Oh yeah, but sure. Man, the domino effect that will cause Zion.
But I'm
Zion's already out.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Zion's already out.
That he wants out already. Like I'm seeing turmoil. Like I don't even know if David Griffin is going to make it past this season. Like I see turmoil in New Orleans, and that's why I say this. Do I want Duncan to stay? Yes, because we need shooting on this team. But if we can get Brandon Ingram on this squad, like man, throw all of that other shit out the window, man. I'm rocking with Brandon Ingram in the squad that we got, and I'm cool with it.
What would your bench look like after that move?
What would our bench look like? Would it matter?
Yeah. Yes, it does.
It depends.
It does.
Like who are we playing in the Eastern Conference Finals? It would depend on who we playing in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Yeah.
If we play in Brooklyn, we could probably slide with that shit. I ain't gonna lie.
I think you can slide with that.
They don't have a real bench either over there.
Yeah. But in terms,
it depends on who they fill it out with right now. It depends.
I would be concerned if we played Milwaukee. Milwaukee's bench is pretty solid, as we've seen.
Milwaukee is losing a lot of bench players too. They lost Brent Forbes and they lost PJ Tucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
he came to us. I'm about to say, he came to us. Oh shit.
Exactly. They replaced PJ Tucker with Shimmy Ojale. Have fun with that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they're not going to be the same team. And that's why, and a lot of people are saying that Miami isn't going to get over the hump of beating the Nets. Like, they're not in the conversation to beat the Nets or the Bucks. And I'm like, the Bucks lost 2 key pieces. The reason why the Bucks blew us out was because of Brent Forbes. That nigga was airing us out every game we played them. Them losing him was big. And I think
they still have DiVincenzo though.
I'm not scared of DiVincenzo. He's not a shooter like Forbes is.
Not as Forbes, but he still respect him though.
I think we're closer to Milwaukee than a lot of people want to give us credit for. I know they're coming off of finals, but y'all already know I'll put an asterisk on that finals regardless because of all the injuries. And I think it's the same way. I think we're closer to Milwaukee than a lot of people want to give us credit for.
I don't put an asterisk next to it, but they're not making the finals next year.
You're not going to convince him, Derek. He's putting an asterisk next to it.
I just want to know what he said, though. Say it one more time.
I'm not going to put an asterisk next to that championship. Because if you're going to put one next to that, you're going to put one next to the Lakers. I don't really do that with that one either.
I think the Lakers, everybody would have like the same circumstances. But when 10 All-Stars get injured in one playoffs, that's not some shit that happens every playoffs. I hate hearing that.
So is it an asterisk for the Suns to get to the finals?
Yes. I said whoever won was going to be.
He gave it an asterisk regardless.
Yeah, whoever won, I was saying it was going to be. Yeah,
we never even had our conversation after you told us that we weren't going to. Edgar and I were going to be wrong about the Phoenix Suns beating the Lakers. Don't think I forgot about that.
Y'all were now not happy about what I said on Twitter.
No,
I said I was wrong.
No,
it's okay.
I wanted you to say that. I wanted you to say that.
He said it on the time. He said it on the timeline. I took it on the timeline.
That's y'all want more? And honestly, was I really wrong? Because honestly, the asterisk is there for a reason. If AD was healthy, they lose that series. If Jamal Murray's healthy, they lose that series.
We can go through.
If Kawhi is healthy, they lose that. Dude, you cannot tell me that everybody that they have played was not injured. So y'all can say y'all were right. Technically, y'all were right because they won. But y'all can't tell me that injury didn't play a part in them getting all the way to the finals.
Oh yeah, they did. They played a part. But I can't give an asterisk for that.
Yeah,
I can't just give an asterisk.
When everybody's all-star player is hurt.
So are you doing the same thing for the Warriors facing the Cavs without Kyrie and Kevin Love?
The only person they missed was Mike Conley in the first round.
I'm saying for them to beat the Cavs because you're saying that injuries
that's something I feel like that's more so what everybody was saying when a few all-star injuries happen in the playoffs. But I said when 10 all-star injuries happen, it's different conversation. 10 all-star injuries is more than 3.
He's saying that because both the Suns and the Bucks, like each round they were going against the team that did not have
the Nets. The Nets didn't have Harden and Kyrie. Like that's a huge deal.
And then KD wasn't like he was off his game too a little bit. So.
And then Trae Young gets hurt. The whole team they was gonna beat him too.
Injuries are part of the game, though.
You can't, bro. That's why I'm not going.
They're part of the game.
10 all-star injuries are not a part of the game.
Well, okay. So how about this? I'll give you that the rate. It was a higher rate of injuries because of the bubble and the turnaround season.
Outlier. That's an outlier from anything else.
That I will agree with that part. But at the same time, I don't put an asterisk next to it. It's still that's just a part of the game at this point. Like they decided to play the season as early as they did, which I thought was stupid.
I understand. Yeah, I agree with that. I
thought that was stupid as hell. But they were there. Like I'm not putting asterisks next to it. I thought
I'm glad it happened because I'm glad that Giannis got his flowers and showed how dominant he was. So I was happy for him. But we can't say that the Suns and the Bucks were the two best teams in the NBA.
Hey, they were just the two healthy. They stayed healthy.
That's what I'm saying. I'm taking nothing away from them because they did what they were supposed to do. But those were not the two best teams, or nowhere near the two best teams.
Let me ask this. This will tell me if you're going to bullshit me or not. If Miami was there instead of Milwaukee, you're saying the same thing.
Yes.
Okay.
Injury path. Yes. That's why I said last year wasn't the same because everybody was healthy. Okay. If everybody was unhealthy last year, Giannis got hurt in the playoffs last year, I'd have been like, damn, like the Heat getting a lot of breaks. That's an asterisk. But just calling it an asterisk for last year because of the bubble, I don't think that's a good reason just because it was a bubble because everybody was still healthy. But when everybody's best player is hurt with every team you played, I'm like, come on, bro. This shit ain't the same. That's not every, you know what I'm saying? So it's just different.
All right. At least you're consistent.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, if it was the Heat, bro, trust me, bro. I would have called my bullshit for sure.
I would have said it, but nah, that's 18, baby.
Hey, bro. All right, man. Let's move on to Russ to LA in a big move on draft day. Russ did get traded to Los Angeles for what? Kyle Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and a first round pick. Big move for the Lakers. They ended up having some good pickups in free agency. A lot of people consider them to be a winner in free agency as well. But how do you guys feel about the Lakers going into next season?
They can get to the finals. I don't know how many people on the roster will make it to the finals just because of the age. But honestly, like I feel like this is gonna work though because
wrong. We already talked about this, wrong.
Oh, yeah.
They got to stop with the comparison. I don't know why
that was Stephen A. Smith. That was dumb as hell.
That's Stephen A. Smith fault. That was dumb as hell, bro.
Yeah.
But honestly though, Book balled out. We can't act like Book didn't ball out though.
But to say that he is the next Kobe, that was far fetched.
True. But he was like Kobe some points in the playoffs. I'm like,
but you got a whole lot to do before you can say.
And the defensive part of the ball, I feel like was a big thing too.
Like
Kobe was a dog on defense, bro. Like Book ain't that same way.
It wasn't time for that comparison. Yeah, it just
he just see, that's the thing. That's why I don't even watch ESPN anymore. A lot of people just want to be sensational with their takes, and that was a part of it. And Magic Johnson co-signing that shit. Bro,
Magic Johnson said Lonzo was gonna be up in the Raptors, man. I don't know.
Did, but you don't co-sign that.
I don't even pay attention.
You don't co-sign that.
I don't pay attention to his tweets.
I don't either. But he was on set next to Stephen A. Smith, and he's like, yeah, nah, we're not doing.
But go ahead, bro. My fault.
But with Russ, I feel like it can work because I was telling Quincy this the other day that Russell Westbrook, no matter how he plays in the playoffs, whether he is efficient or whether he does give us the same type of rest that we're used to seeing throughout the regular season, he's going to carry this Lakers team. I feel like this team is going to be generated off of the energy of Russ. AD can take a step back during the regular season, and we won't have to worry about health so much with him. And I feel the same way about Trevor Ariza. I feel like Ariza can definitely he could definitely do a
stock
big
in
part.
Trevor Ariza.
I feel like during the regular season, hell yeah, definitely for sure. And when playoff time comes, I feel like he can be that third or fourth option when Bron and AD aren't full speed ahead on certain nights.
So how are you feeling about all the old concerns? Everybody trying to say the Lakers so old, this, that, the third. How do you feel about that? Do you think that is true?
Everybody should be younger. Everybody getting their shot. Everybody want Melo to get a ring now, right? So let's not laugh at age because everybody been begging for Melo to try and get a ring now. So this is Melo's opportunity. So I say go ahead. And Russell Westbrook got a lot of pressure too. He got a lot of pressure because this is the same Russell Westbrook that said, I don't care about championships and all that. You're on the Lakers now. Like you're in a franchise that they recognize nothing but championships. Bron at least got one. So Bron got that monkey off his back. Like, hey, if I don't do shit else here, I got at least one. Russ, you can't have that I don't care about championships attitude while you in LA.
Yeah, I think that LA did a phenomenal job in this offseason.
Me too.
However, I don't see them as going to the finals. I don't think they're a shoe-in for the finals. I really don't. I
think about the Warriors.
The Warriors are nice.
A lot of people sleep on. That's what we say. A lot of people are sleep on the Warriors, bro. I don't know. I think Clay's coming back.
I think because they've been out of the picture for the last 2 years, people are sleeping on their talent now. Like they actually have more depth now than they did.
And I still think they're going to trade that too there. I still think they're going to trade some of those young people that they drafted. I think they're going to flip that for a Beal, for a Simmons. I still think they're capable of doing that.
I don't know. See, okay. And y'all might think I'm a homer on this one. I don't think they're going to trade for Beal. I think they will. I think if they were to do it, they will want to know that he is going to stay and resign.
Oh, he's going to stay in. He's going to stay and going to stay.
I just personally think he's going to go play with Tatum next year. There's to me it just.
You mean you think it's going to be a trade there, or
no? He's walking in free agency.
Oh, he's walking. Oh,
yes.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying like I don't know. I don't even know if they necessarily need to go get Beal. They could make some more moves for sure, but I don't know that they're going to actually go get Beal. I just the way that Beal was beaming over the last couple of weeks with next to Tatum, I don't know if I see him wanting to miss on that opportunity because they've been wanting to play with each other for the longest time. So to me, because the reason why I'm even saying this because if Beal didn't push out before the draft, to me he was just going to stay in Washington for the whole season. To me that was the only move. And the way that Boston is setting up right now with not going after any free agents, big name free agents this offseason, and setting up the salary for next season to go ahead and sign, I think that's Beal, Tatum, Brown. I think
I like that though. Is that too much?
Is it
too much of the same?
It's not
the Beal, Tatum, and the Brown. Is that too much of the same? No point guard. You still have no point guard. I feel like that's still your biggest deficiency.
You have Smart as a point guard. They're
come on, no, we gotta stop with that. I've been seeing that on my TV.
Hold on.
Who's going to be the one to say I'll be the third option? Do you really think who's going to be the one out of those three to say that?
I think if they know they're going to be able to win, Brown will do it because I've seen Brown do it. When Brown was playing, when we got Kyrie Irving and Gordon Hayward, all that stuff, like when that whole thing started happening, you saw he took a step back when Tatum came in and everything like that. I think he's willing to make the necessary sacrifices to win. So that's why I'm just saying Beal to Boston next year. But Golden State would be the other option. I see what he's saying in terms of LA or Miami, but I'm not, to me, it doesn't feel like that's the route. I think Washington set it up to where they can, I'm not saying it's a home
but I don't think
team.
Washington is going to let him go for nothing though. If you have a sense that he's going to leave, you have to trade him for something.
I don't think they have a sense that he's going to walk. That's what I'm saying.
You have to. Your hobby has got to be on if his contract runs out.
You go and trade for Kuzma. You telling me that they know he's walking?
Kuzma, you tripping? Kuzma got the ball this year.
Yeah, Kuzma go ball this year.
He ain't playing with Braun.
I've been hearing the same shit about Kuzma for 3 years, bro.
No. Kuzma was playing with Braun, bro. When you play with Braun, you have to
before LeBron got okay.
He was hooping without Braun.
He was hooping without
Braun, bro.
That's the main reason why he stayed and everybody else left, because they're like, this is the one that you don't want to trade. But then when Braun
now does not look like they should have kept Brandon Ingram over Kuzma.
No,
they wasn't going. You needed Ingram. Ingram was the name of that trade.
Theoretically, because Orlando, one of the two. Does it not make sense they should have kept one of the two over Kuzma?
But they thought theoretically that Kuzma would fit better with Braun because he's
they were wrong. And they were wrong.
Because it's hard to fit with Braun, though. It's hard to fit with Braun. Because when he hooped with Lonzo, he was hooping when he played with Lonzo.
He's going to get about 18 to 20 points a game. Kuzma finna get about 18 to 20 points a game this season.
I want to know his plus minus. I want to know his plus minus.
It don't matter.
I'm going to say that right now.
I want to know his plus minus.
You don't got to think about the logic there.
With Kuzma hitting like 18 a game, I don't want to hear shit.
He plays for Washington. They're going to have a low plus
Kuzma
minus.
looks good in spurts. He's like a poor man's J.R. Smith. That's how I see him.
I think that's too far.
No.
I think that's too far.
I don't think so.
J.R. Smith ain't put up no 40-point nights before, bro. I've seen Kuzma do that consistently.
What I'm saying is I'm seeing him in spurts. I'm not seeing that shit consistently.
I don't know, bro.
I heard all I heard coming off the championship was watch.
That's what he said. I didn't believe that shit.
I thought it was gonna happen.
Everyone kept telling me this, and
I was wrong. I was wrong. He was playing next to Braun. It just wasn't gonna happen. I was wrong.
And
on that.
I was also told Kuzma was better than Tatum. Now Kuzma says he sees himself on the same level as Tatum.
I don't know who you're listening to now.
No. I'm talking about when they first got into the league. I'm not talking about right now. They were saying
Kuzma was hooping there.
Bro,
that wasn't crazy to say, even though I still would have said
Tatum. They said Kuzma was going to be an all-star at one point. That shit.
Everyone's been saying that shit. Now, like that was almost like his peak. That was almost like his peak.
Yeah. He gotta go to Chicago. That's where he'll flourish for real. Lonzo there.
I think he's peaked.
He's peaked.
I think
that's good. How do you feel about Washington now? Washington got a nice little squad with Kuz,
This
Bill,
is what I'm saying.
Dinwiddie.
I don't think that Washington thinks Beal is walking.
I think this is their last. If this works, Bill could possibly stay. If this works,
if this could work, and I still don't see him staying because they're not going to get a
loyal nigga. Bill is showing me a lot of mixed signals right now, so I don't know.
What do you mean by work? If this works, what do you mean by that? Do you mean first round playoffs, second round?
Playoffs. 8 seed. That's all he cares about. Playoffs.
8 seed.
Last year was cool to him. Last year making the playoffs was cool to him.
Yeah,
like that's all I'm saying. Like I think that team could possibly make the playoffs. You have some nice veterans in Montrez, KCP.
They're not making the playoffs, bro.
I mean, I don't know. That 8th, 9th, 10th seed, like I don't know. And you got to play in too.
You got to play in tournament, but I don't see them making the playoffs. Atlanta got better.
They were going to stop the play in. Didn't they?
No, they're continuing. Yeah, they're continuing.
It's coming back.
Whoa, yeah, that's crazy. I thought they was going to stop it.
So Atlanta, Indiana, Chicago.
I don't put Indiana over them though, bro. Indiana. Come on, man. I'm done believing in Indiana, bro. They got my nigga Karras though. They got Karras though.
That's a team I believe in more than Washington. I'm sorry. Indiana, Chicago, Charlotte, Atlanta.
Charlotte done pissed me off the past few days.
Charlotte had a good draft though. I fuck with what Charlotte doing over there.
Had a good draft,
I fuck with what they got going on over there.
Hey, and then Jello's gonna be on the summer league team.
I heard that they were trying to do a sign and trade for Lonzo. I was like, please don't have this shit started.
That would have been hilarious if they did that.
Work at the fuck off.
No, I know it wouldn't work, but that would have been hilarious. It'd have been hilarious to see the Triple B.
And it's funny because Lonzo ended up signing with the Bulls like immediately. He's like, I'm not even gonna put that shit in the air that I want to go to college. I don't play with these good niggas. I don't even want to play with my brother. I don't even want that buzz over there. I don't even want that buzz.
Yeah, Charlotte took a big L the past couple of days. You let go of Devontae Graham and Malik Monk. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, I get it. You got good draft picks or whatever, but it's like, I don't know.
I don't think that was bad for them. Because I think they got something back in that trade, didn't they? They got somebody back in that trade. They got a first round pick. They got a first round pick for that trade.
From New Orleans.
They got a first round pick.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Melo. To me, it almost seems like they're going to keep Rozier. I don't know.
I think Book Knight is the future, though, bro.
I think so too. Now I'm gonna tell you what, if they do decide to trade Rozier, I'll take Rozier back.
Didn't y'all kick that nigga out of Boston?
He threw that whole team under the bus. That's when I knew that wasn't gonna happen. He threw Kyrie and everybody else under that bus, and I was like, yeah, this ain't gonna work. But I would take him back. I would take him back to run point.
Because y'all didn't like that. Oh, because he got killed by Bledsoe. Or did Bledsoe
kill him? He killed Bledsoe every time.
Oh, he killed Bledsoe. Okay. I thought it was flipping around. Bledsoe beef with that nigga at one point, though. Y'all definitely had beef with that nigga.
Oh, yeah. Right, yeah, that was hilarious. I love that shit. That was beautiful.
All right, man. Let's move on to what's up with Kawhi. Did I get my take on LA? I think LA will be good. I think Russell Westbrook is a good fit for the regular season, like Edgar said. But for the playoffs is where I'm worried about them because we've seen Russ in the playoffs and he's just not a good fit. Like, it doesn't work. You're going to have Russ on the court and it's going to be in LeBron's hands. It's like nobody's going to be really seriously guarding Russ unless he's like in attack mode. So I don't know how that's going to work in the playoffs. It's LeBron, so I know LeBron is going to make it work somehow, even though this is year 18, 19. But it's Russ, though. And I've seen him have shortcomings in the playoffs like too consistently because of him not being a shooter. So I don't know how it works. It will work, but I just don't know how at this moment. So I still have to question it.
Hey,
for the playoffs.
If Bron gets Kyrie and Russ a ring before KD does,
that'd be hilarious. That would be hilarious. Yo, that would be hilarious, bro.
You get Russ a ring before KD, and you got Kyrie one already, so Kyrie is expecting a ring with KD. Oh my god!
Let me ask this though: Dennis Schroeder, did he not fumble the bag?
I'm glad you brought that up.
Did he not fumble the bag,
bro?
He needs to go to the Mavs.
He signed he could have signed a 4-year, $84 million deal. He turned that down from the Lakers because he wanted $100 million. Now he about to get the mid-level exception from some team. He ain't gonna get no cheese.
I'm gonna tell you what, that's worse than what happened to Isaiah Thomas.
For sure. Because it was his decision. Like Isaiah Thomas, it was his body.
Isaiah just kind of bet on himself and then got hurt in the process and it didn't work out. This is horrible. Like, I feel bad for IT. That was just dumb.
But it was looking promising at the beginning, though. Like it was like, damn, he could get 100
for 100, though, bro. 100.
They threw Lonzo 85, bro. They threw Lonzo 85. Somebody was willing to throw him 100.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a good argument. That's a good argument. That's a good argument. But that's all Chicago.
Yeah, that's Chicago.
Yeah,
that's Chicago. So, like, would Chicago have thrown that money toward Schroeder?
They were talking about it was either Schroeder or Lonzo. That's what they were rocking with, and they ended up rocking with Lonzo.
Yeah, I thought Lonzo was a better fit.
For sure.
I thought he was a better fit. So, I don't.
Now all the money going, he don't got no place to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He ain't got nowhere to go, and he just fumbled that bag.
Bro.
Somebody talk about he got to throw hands with his agent because his agent got to get that nigga back.
I'm suing my agent if I did that.
But is that really the agent? That's the question I had. Was that really the agent that fucked it up? Because it was your decision to take or leave the money.
It's both. They're both responsible. But it's the agent's fault for even putting the thought in and said, "Hey, you can get 100 mil. You can get 100 mil. Like, hey, turn that down. Hey, don't do it. Don't do it. Turn it down." Nah, bro, we fighting, man. We fighting.
He about to be the next nigga with clutch, bro, for sure. Yeah. He about to be the next nigga with clutch, and that nigga.
Yeah, I guarantee he's talking to Rich Paul right now.
For sure, for sure, my nigga, for sure. All right, man. Let's move on to another point in free agency. What's going on with Kawhi Leonard? So he opted out of his deal with the Los Angeles Clippers. A lot of people expected that he will resign, but it's still like up in the air right now. He hasn't done it yet. Like, what do you think his thought process is at this moment? Like, what is he going through? Is he going to resign for something short term, long term? Does he want to return? Is he looking for something better? Like, what do you guys think at this moment?
It's going to be short term. He's going back. I think he just wants the attention. He just likes the attention for the free agency thing.
He quiet as hell, but he wants the attention.
He said he loved it the first time that he went into free agency, so I think he wants to feel it again. But to me, I almost feel like that's an indictment on Paul George.
He can't say that because of Paul. Paul George.
No,
bro. Paul George hooped.
Yeah. He this season he definitely did.
Yeah,
but that bubble was atrocious.
Bro, you gotta get over that, bro.
That bubble was atrocious, bro.
My nigga hooped, though. My nigga hooped.
You gotta pass that.
So
PG apology for him. PG apology.
Look. All I'm saying is that to me, that's possible what he's looking at, because there's no way like you're gonna sit here and I don't think any team has the money right now to sign Kawhi for 30 plus.
Yeah, that's what's weird about this whole situation. Like, why are you waiting so long?
He just wants free dinners. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. He just wants free dinners. He knows he's going to resign for another year, and then get a player option in the second year. If he plays, well, he's playing in LA this next season. Then I think he'll become a free agent again, and then see what happens at that point. A lot more teams that'll have the opportunity to pay. You see what happens at that point, but especially if they can't do anything this year.
And that's what I was going to bring up, Edgar. I heard that he's not going to play for most of this season because he's coming off of the ACL injury, which I didn't know. I thought he was going to be back by like mid-season, but I'm hearing that he's not going to be back, probably not at all this year. So if you were the Clippers, somebody brought up this point, would you want to bring him back? Would you want to spend that $30 million on a guy that's not even going to play for you? Or would you just let him go somewhere else and try to do something else with that money? Like, what would be your thought process if you know that he's not going to play this year?
If I know he's not gonna play this year, it's really just it. I don't know, because they're not gonna build around Paul George. If they looking at Kawhi like this isn't gonna work, like you can't stay healthy at this point, and the times that you were healthy, you guys didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel, damn, bro. I don't know. If I'm the Clippers, I'm looking at it like we got to suck it up and keep him and just wait another year to see what he wants to do, or we just got to say fuck it and just rebuild around the pieces that we got and try to attract another big name. Yeah. But like Derek said, I don't know where Kawhi would go after this season. Where do you go? Because if you don't want to team up with Bron, all these vet minimums that are on the Lakers, we know after this upcoming season they're going to be gone. So
but you still gonna have Russ on the books.
Well, other than Russ, like you still don't want to play on the other side of the stadium with LeBron, you know. So I don't know where else you would go, really.
Can I ask you this? I'm not trying to put this out there, but I'm legit wondering: do you still view Kawhi as the number one option if he comes back and they don't win? I'm just saying they don't win. They don't win. Do you still look at him with the same value if he hits free agency again?
What do you mean if he comes
injuries?
back this year or if he comes back next year?
This coming season, he comes back at the end of the season.
Okay.
And the Clippers don't do anything. Do you still view him as the number one option where you pay 30 plus a year?
Being that I'm the Clippers and I haven't had a franchise player like Kawhi Leonard, I would have to suck it up and just say,
have no
I have to deal with it.
Everyone else.
I'm
talking about everyone else. I'm talking about everyone else because the Clippers have no choice but to look at him like that.
If you're Miami,
you saying if you're the Miami?
If you're looking to get him in free agency, are you still looking at him?
No, you're not paying 30 mil if you're Miami. You're not paying 30 mil if you're.
I think they would though, bro. I think they would.
I don't know
because I think it's still Kawhi Leonard, and he's coming off of knee injury, so it's going to be excuses built in because it's he wasn't fully there. Like next year, he's going to have like months removed from the injury. Then he's going to be the Kawhi Leonard, and then that's going to be the built-in excuse already. So I think he can still have that same type of value because talent-wise, he's still like a top 5 player, even when he comes back. But I don't think Pat Riley at the end of the year.
I don't think Pat Riley would do it.
I don't either. He's not out there.
I don't think Pat would do it because
Pat
got a lot of money locked up right now.
The talent is still there, but he's not out there. You know, if he's not out there like that, I don't know. I don't see them. I don't see anyone really spending the 30 outside the Clippers.
Somebody gonna spend that. If the Mavs have an opening and if they got $30 million and Kawhi coming off an injury, they spend it.
My question though is he still the number one option though? I'm not saying that no one was gonna pay for him. I'm just like
he would still be a number one.
He would still be a number one.
Okay,
because people would still view him as that. They would still view him like that.
Will he be in the top tier of number one options? No, like because there's tiers to these number one option players. He's not a tier one. No.
Well, saying that's what I'm saying. Like his price per year might have to come down at that point.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm saying because you're not spending 30 plus on a number 2, right?
Right.
Number 3, you're not.
I mean, John Collins got 25, bro, and you paying more for Kawhi.
But that's the Hawks. Like,
fair point. Yeah, but that is Atlanta.
Everybody. That's my point. Is like everybody getting dished out money now, and if you get a Kawhi Leonard, like KD coming off of injury, still got his check. Off on the Achilles injury, he still got $30-40 million. Like, and they knew he was going to miss a season. It's going to be the same thing with Kawhi. Kawhi's still only like 30 years old right now. People think he still has a lot of time left. Even coming off the knee injury, they were going to say we will pay that $35 million needed to get Kawhi Leonard because we still believe that he can get back to his peak level. People don't think his peak is over yet.
So you guys, let's theoretically put it out there. The Heat signed Kawhi for roughly 30-32 a year in free agency next year.
I'm happy.
You're happy, but you're paying Butler.
That's what it can't happen because we got Lowry now because it's too many. It's too much money.
We got Lowry.
We can't get him now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't see Miami spending that. They can't. Like it's one of those things where you kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't.
But I think something is going to have to give because either it's not going to work in LA or either it's not going to work with the Nets. Like something is going to blow up this season where one of the star wants to leave and Kawhi can end up pairing with them somewhere else. Like we have to always take that into account. Like there's disgruntled stars all over the league that Kawhi Leonard can pair up with somewhere else who he believes in more than a.
So Kawhi and Dame.
Yes,
they pair up.
Yes,
so where do they go?
I mean, any team, bro, that is up and coming, though. That is up and coming, and that will have the cap space. I don't have the numbers in front of me.
It's not an instant contender. Yeah.
Nope, not at all.
But it's like the Nets, though. When the Nets got Kyrie and Kevin Durant, they were an instant contender. But Kevin Durant didn't play.
They had the skeleton. They had the pieces there to build around those two.
That's what I'm saying. That's what the team I'm talking about. That's the team I'm describing. The team that's going to have cap space, but you see the dogs on their team.
What team is that, though?
I don't have.
My question.
I don't have a. Yeah, I don't have a.
Like,
I don't know either.
Let me go through the teams. 76ers. Anything with that?
76ers could do it.
They gotta blow it.
76ers could do it because they could get rid of Tobias Harris, get rid of his money. All you got on the books is Joel Embiid, Dame, Kawhi, Joel. That's money.
Here's a team that I didn't think about till just now. Toronto.
I was about to ask about that.
Money? Kawhi going back to Toronto.
I don't think he want to go back to Toronto. I think he left Toronto for a reason.
I think it was too cold for him up there.
I think the Sixers would be the place that they would pair because you can get Ben Simmons for Dame, or get Dame for Ben Simmons, and then Kawhi could eventually walk.
I don't. Okay, so this is my thing with the
they
whole
would have to go
Simmons
to the
situation.
East because everybody in the West is locked up.
Yeah. So the thing about the 76ers though is Ben isn't, the value is not what Philly wants it to be. Like no one's trading that into
picks.
No one's doing that shit, bro. Like, so I don't see Dame and Ben on the swap. Whatever picks you throw in, I don't see it, because I don't see Portland. I don't see Portland doing that. I don't see Portland.
So restart in Portland.
I'm sorry. I don't see Philly. I don't see Philly being able to get what they want. Portland is not going to answer that call. I don't see that.
Portland's not doing that because the point that I made a few weeks ago, Ben Simmons has to turn into a number 3 or number 4 option on a team. Ben Simmons,
thank you.
He's at a point in his career, he cannot be the number 1 or number 2 option anymore right now. He needs to grow as the 3rd and 4th option, and we need to see how he can thrive in that type of space before we just say he can go to Portland and swap with Dame and you can build around Ben Simmons, because Portland is just going to end up with the same problem that Philly had. So I feel like this is why I wanted him to go to the Warriors, even though the amount that Philly was asking for it, everybody was telling me it was too much. I feel like the only thing that was too much in that trade request was those 2 extra first-round picks. I'm like, if they took those off, that would have been the perfect trade to me. Because if you go to the Warriors, you're behind Steph and Clay, and even to a certain extent, Draymond. Like, Ben Simmons can really just chill and just play his game.
Get the spotlight off of you. Because the thing about Ben is not even about the shooting. It's just that he's just hesitant to drive.
That's
for
what?
Free throw line.
For what? Just like
if you're behind Steph and Clay, you can. If you have a bad night, nobody's going to pay attention, because as long as these two do what they're supposed to do, and as long as Draymond keeps the team fired up, Ben Simmons can go 2-3 nights in a row with 7 or 8 points.
And the lane is going to be open.
Yeah. When he has those 15 to 18 point games, those will be like, oh, Ben Simmons actually added to the night. You know what I'm saying?
It's a significant upgrade over Oubre.
And that's what I'm saying. I like him in Golden State as well, because the lane is open more. I've seen Ben Simmons. I'm not going to say Ben Simmons can't be a number 1 option, because I've seen him play with teams when he's the number 1 option and they're going on winning streaks. I've seen him not play with Joel Embiid and the team goes on winning streaks. I've seen it. Regular season. When it comes to playoffs, if you're going to Portland, that's a rebuild. If you go to Portland, it's a rebuild.
That matters to a certain extent.
It's a rebuild. And if nobody's in the paint, I've seen Ben Simmons in the playoffs still get loose. In the Nets, that one, what's the year at the Nets? They ended up winning that series with the Nets. And he was going crazy.
Yeah, he does have his moments, but I'm saying, like, when the pressure is on, like, big time, going deep into the playoffs, I don't know.
What he did against Trae Young this past playoffs, like, I can't forget that, bro.
You can't.
You shrunk too much, and you just decreased your value to where you're the 3rd, 4th option in my eyes right now. Ben Simmons has potential to be a solid number 2 player, but number 1 is definitely out of my vision for him.
And again, I really don't even care if he ever learns how to shoot a 3 or not. It's literally just that he's just apprehensive in the paint. Like, I don't get that. There's games where he's not, and then there's games where he is, and then the games where he is are the bigger games. Why? That makes no sense.
Rudy Gobert, like it was nothing. Like I've seen.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, you can't say it's coaching anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know. All right, man. Let's move on to free agency losers, man. Let's speed past this, man. Who y'all got for the biggest loser of the free agency?
Charlotte, New Orleans.
Who pays Zach Collins?
The Spurs pay Zach Collins.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. The Spurs had ended up picking up McDermott. They picked up Forbes. They picked up Collins. I feel like I'm blanking on somebody too, but they picked up a few people.
Popovich needs to go ahead and retire.
Damn, you think it's to that point?
He needs to retire.
Damn. I know niggas want to retire him from Team USA right now. Niggas are crying for Coach K right now. Niggas is crying for Coach K.
You know, when I started questioning Pop, when he played, when the Spurs played against Miami and he sat Tim Duncan.
Come on, bro.
That's what
Come on, bro. That was
shit made no
2014,
sense,
dog.
bro.
That was
That shit
2014,
made
bro.
no sense, bro.
You're going too far back.
That's
Oh,
what
you're going
happened,
too
man.
far back.
They
Duncan,
won a championship the next year.
they did, but I still questioned him. I didn't say he wasn't a good coach. I just questioned him. Like, what was the purpose of that? What? What? Come on.
That was a questioning moment where you may not have been questioning him, but you were like,
No, I was questioning Pop. I was questioning Pop, bro.
No, I'm saying like I wouldn't have questioned him, but I would have been like, that's uncharacteristic.
Duncan,
that's not
Duncan
like
was
you.
going off. Like,
I want to thank Greg Popovich.
You should.
I want to thank Greg Popovich.
You guys
Without you,
win.
Greg, we wouldn't have a shit right now. We wouldn't have had that second shit. So thank you, Greg, for taking that nigga Tim Duncan out the game so Chris Bosh can get that rebound. Thank you, Greg Popovich. I love you for that always. That's why you're the GOAT. All right, man. Let's move on to Team USA, actually. And I want to talk about Luka because we seen Luka go crazy in the Olympics. I think his first Olympic game, he had 48, 11, and 5. Nigga looking like he's gonna be a GOAT or at least overseas. But there is coming up to the semifinals right now in Olympics basketball, and it could be a Team USA versus Slovenia matchup in the gold medal game. If Luka was to win that game, what is the reaction? Single-handedly, if he was to beat Team USA, all-star studded team, are we saying that he's the face of the league? Like, are we saying that this nigga's the next one? Like, what are we saying about Luka right now if he beats Team USA single-handedly? Like, we have to have a response to that.
I knew you were gonna say that shit, bro.
That guy, bro.
I've been saying Tatum for a long time.
If he beats Team USA, damn near single-handedly, you got to give him the crown, bro. You got to give him face of the NBA.
No,
you have to.
No, because that also means that he's better than Durant.
No, being the face of the league doesn't necessarily mean you're the best player.
No, I'm saying, but that's what you're like almost saying in certain arguments.
Yes.
That no. Like Luka's nice, but no, bro.
If Luka Doncic beats star-studded Team USA especially when Durant is leading the team, Durant better show his ass up.
No, I agree with you. I'm just saying I'm not giving that to him at that point, though.
I would have to.
I'm not giving it to him at that point. But I mean, that would be crazy if that happened.
Because the argument that I was told earlier today was Luka hasn't done enough in the NBA to be crowned that in the first place. But I told him, I was like, can you blame that on him? Because he's performed great, but the team around him hasn't stepped up to the plate. So would you say that he's just not a great player in the NBA, or his teammates just aren't lifting him up to the Eastern or Western Conference Finals and to the finals? Because he showed up.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do this year. Jason Kidd being the new coach is going to be interesting. I don't know if Rick Carlisle's voice just got stale in the locker room or
I heard
what.
It was beefing.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. It's possible. They do need to give him more pieces. And Tim Hardaway Jr. leaving Dallas, I think, is an underrated.
He came back.
He came back.
Did he go back?
He came back.
I thought he signed with
No, he re-signed.
It was Dallas.
He re-signed with
Dallas?
Okay.
4 year 72.
Okay, my bad. Well, I don't even think that Jason Kidd is enough for them, to be completely honest. I think that it's going to be interesting to see what they do, but I personally just don't see Kidd making that big of a difference.
They didn't make enough moves. Like, who did they pick up this offseason?
They acted like they were like
it was
Boston.
good.
That we just need to let a couple guys move around. We'll be okay.
Very comfortable.
They're too comfortable. Porzingis.
Say it.
They should have traded him. They should have traded him because they like. I'm not saying that they're going to get a massive overhaul for him, but
could they get McCollum for him?
Oh, hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That move should have been made already. That move should have been made already.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on between both teams. Like, you need a change in Portland and you need a change in Dallas.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that if Portland traded McCollum for Porzingis, Dame is out of there?
Oh, Dame is leaving regardless. That's what I want to get through to Portland fans. Dame is leaving regardless.
Personally, I don't know if it's regardless right now.
He's staying this season. Like,
I know he's staying this season. I'm just saying, like, in terms of the of it being a sure thing next offseason, I'm still kind of skeptical.
And I think he's giving them the warning this year of, I need y'all to upgrade this team. And first of all, they haven't even upgraded this squad. It's the same squad. You paid Norman Powell big money.
Melo.
Minus Melo. I heard he was mad about that today.
And Cantor, both guys gone.
So it's like, bro, you got Nurkic coming back, you got McCollum coming back, and we worse with the role players. It's like we didn't improve. I'm gone.
They did improve by getting rid of Zach Collins, though. I will say that
he never played.
That's what I'm saying. Now you go find someone. Maybe you know who got waived today? Aaron Baines. Aaron Baines would be a even though I would like him back in Boston, he would be a very viable option for them to fill in.
That's not Zach Collins. Needle, though.
It's not, bro. It's significantly better than what you got with Zach Collins.
Oh, for sure. He better than Cantor too. He better than Cantor too.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm saying to make him stay, though, is what I'm saying. To make him
hell no,
stay.
Aaron Baines ain't gonna make him stay.
Because that's what I'm saying. Even if you traded McCollum even if you traded Porzingis for McCollum, whatever you can get for Nurkic, that's not enough to bring Dame back. So even if you were to try to upgrade the team, it's not enough.
I don't think
to come back next offseason.
I don't think there was anything for Portland to really do this offseason, though, in terms of like there being a major free agent. I don't think any of the major free agents were going to move.
But Dame don't want to hear that shit, though, bro. Dame going to say make some shit shake. If it was Pat Riley would have made some shit shake.
I agree with you. But I'm looking at it from the front office perspective. For sure. There's literally no one out there that if you bring in, adding to that team is going to really move the needle to say that they're going to come out the West. That's not logical.
That's my point. That's why I think he's out.
I think it's possible. I'm just saying I'm still skeptical on it because I don't know. Dame is so loyal. I don't know and then also seeing what Milwaukee was able to do this with the championship.
You can't compare the two, bro.
Listen. I'm not comparing the two. But if he's that loyal and he sees that, he's like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it possible that he's looking at like, all right, if they were able to do it and Milwaukee was ass over they were horrible for a while. For them to come back and get a championship, is that now where he's looking at like, okay, let's see what we can do. I don't know.
This is what me and Edgar were talking about last week. Like, how much does loyalty cost? Like, I don't think loyalty costs this much to put up with this much bullshit that is going on in Portland right now. Like, you're not getting better. You're going to stay at the middle of the pack. You're actually going to drop in the West after y'all made no upgrades and y'all lost y'all role players and everybody else is getting better. Y'all going to drop. So what is there to stay around for? Like, y'all stale right now.
Bro, Phoenix got an upgrade too.
What JaVale McGee you talking about? That's a big pickup. They didn't have a center last year,
bro. You when Sarge went down, you got to deal with what's his name as
Frank the Tank.
you gotta trust him to fill that gap. Nah, McGee coming in, I think is big for them, and I think that's another underrated move as well for the free agency.
Are they getting back though?
Hell no. Not right now. Nah. But I think it's possible. Like, I think they can make a run. I think it's possible they can make a run. And certain things happen. If some stuff happens where some guys get injured, it could happen again, sure. But right now, I'm not putting them in the finals. I'm not putting anyone right there now.
And that's the same thing I've said about the Heat. Like, everybody is saying that they're not going to be better than Milwaukee or the Nets. But after the season, we just seen, like, you don't know what can happen in the playoffs, my nigga. Like, man, we could, in a playoff series, we can be better than those teams.
I'm going to tell you what. Miami and Boston were two of the teams that suffered from the bubble.
For sure.
Schedule.
For sure.
So I expect both teams to be significantly better than they were last year. Significantly better. I definitely do. And you know, Miami... How do you feel about Victor Oladipo?
I think he cooked. I don't. Everybody was excited that he came back, but I think he's done, bro. Too many injuries, bro. Every year he's been injured for like 4 straight seasons. Now it's like we're not going to get the Oladipo that a lot of people are hoping for. Like, bro, you get and he came into the league as an athletic guard. He's not athletic anymore.
Yeah,
he's not athletic anymore.
It's gonna be a lot of back-to-back missed nights throughout the regular season,
sure.
and a lot of inconsistency if he does come back in the playoffs. You know.
So let me ask this one other question, because this is one that's really burning. How do you feel about them paying Lowry and refusing to pay Wade when he was up?
I thought they hold Wade back then. You talking about when they didn't sign him and ended up signing Whiteside? That was the most trash shit in NBA history. when they did that shit. They signed Whiteside over D-Wade. D-Wade was the reason you got to the semifinals of the Eastern Conference the year before, but they give Whiteside all this cheese, and you see what Whiteside became. He won shit. Now he getting tossed around like a lead, like a book right now.
Where is he?
Crazy. He was Utah. He signed with Utah yesterday.
Utah? Okay.
So it's like you signed him over D-Wade. Like that was one of the worst decisions ever made. But so that was a terrible decision. But I like the Lowry decision though.
So you think they made up for that?
They made up for that for sure.
Yeah.
And him coming back, that was, you know what I'm saying? They mended a lot of relationships right there for sure.
Yeah, that was bullshit though.
Oh, for sure. I was mad when that shit happened, my nigga. I cried. I was like 16, 17 when that shit happened, but I cried for sure.
I cried when they traded Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett, and I knew it was going to happen. I already knew that was going to happen. But that shit hurt, bro. That was a dark day. That was a dark day.
For sure. All right, man. Let's move on to Imani Bates reclassifying. So y'all already know that Imani Bates is the #1 player in high school basketball right now. He was a junior, but he has reclassed because he is going to either the G League or he said he could be going to Michigan State or one of the 3 schools that he had named for college. How do you guys think Imani Bates will translate to the G League and the NBA when he gets there in a couple of years? Do you think that he will be an instant impact player? Do you think he's like a franchise changer, one of those type of players? I
think that I personally think he's going to the G League.
Me too.
I don't think he's going to college. And people aren't giving enough credit to LeVar Ball for this, but he basically forced the league to do this, where now the G League is paying these players to come in at a young age. I love it. I love it because you have these guys that are playing in the G League, learning the game at the professional level while they're still really young, which I personally think is going to help the game. There's no other way that's beautiful. So
I totally agree.
G League.
And a lot of people aren't even thinking about the transitions that these players are going to have to the NBA. Like for Jalen Green, it's going to be damn near a seamless transition when he gets into the NBA.
Yes.
Like he's going to leap in, he's going to get scoring immediately because he's already used to it. He's playing against NBA guards already. A lot of these people that were young and are trying to transition to grown men, they haven't played against that. Summer League is going to be their first test. But Jalen Green done played against that for a whole year now. So he's ready. He's built. You know what I'm saying? He got some money in his pocket already. Like, bro, the players that were in the G League are going to transition quicker to the NBA.
And so that's so used to travel. I personally think that in a while the G League is going to make the NCAA have to redo a lot.
What do you mean by redo?
You don't think NIL is enough?
No,
I'm about to say NIL should be enough.
Personally, you're making more money in the G League.
It depends on who you are.
It depends on who you are. It depends on who you are. But I still believe that if I'm one of the top players, I'm going to the G League because I'm looking at it, 1, money, 2, it gives me a head start on learning the league before getting drafted.
For sure.
So to me, I'm looking at it from that advantage. I think the NCAA, even though they're not, I'm not saying that them getting that license to make that money, I'm not saying that that's bad for these players. I think that's still good for the players that are not the top players. And that's beautiful for them. But if you're one of the top players, that's what I'm saying. Like I think it's going to make the G League going to have to figure out something for the top players because that's.
They hikey gonna have to raise the money in the G League if you want to keep up because these top players in college are getting like $1 million deals in NIL.
Like more money, you're getting more money than going to the G League.
Because in the G League, you get
a player in the nation
for sure. Because you're going to get $500,000 in the G League. That's the highest. I think Jalen Green got $500,000. So they're gonna have to raise it to like $1 million for you to like directly go from the NBA. I'm
not saying right now. I'm saying I'm looking at the future. I do believe that they're gonna have to raise it for sure. But like I personally, I like watching those types of games. I like watching the G League. I like watching Summer League. So I think if they build more of a marketing aspect around it, there's gonna be more opportunities for the players to make significantly more money to where it's going to make the top players go over there because it's if you can make more money in playing the G League, you have the ability to learn the game a lot faster and transition to the NBA in a seamless fashion. it makes more sense to do that than play in college. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Right now, yeah, they're not making more money in the G League, but I'm looking at in terms of down the line. I think they will be making more money in the G League because it's just it makes more sense. Everybody's watching that. Everybody's starting to watch it more, like.
And then you got these overtime leagues coming up too. Overtime league that you can get money out of high school.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think the transition of audiences from the NCAA to the G League and these other overtime leagues and whatnot, I don't think that transition is going to happen as quick as y'all saying it's happening.
For the audience,
because the tradition of March Madness and all this other NCAA hype, that's not just going to easily transition just because more players are going over there. You're still going to have the diehard college fans.
You are. But I'm not talking about the audience in general. I'm talking about I'm not big into watching college basketball all the time. I'll watch it, but I'm not a diehard fan. But I'm talking more so like NBA fans. If you're building a market around them to watch the G League more so, and it's the same thing with the WNBA. If they just figure out a way to market it better, to allow more people to watch it, you have access to it with either ESPN or FS1, CBS, whatever. If you have more access to it, people are going to watch it more. More people watching it is going to bring more revenue. So I think that the G League is going to I think the G League in a few years will generate more revenue for those players.
For sure.
Plus you're also talking about players that are in the league that are on 2-way contracts and stuff like that. I think players that really can't make it in the NBA can go to the G League.
It's going to be different with each player, bro, because you got players like Mike. Just talk about HBCUs for a second. You got players like Mikey Williams and Master P. Son. You got these high profile college bound athletes that are trying to play for black colleges. Is that gonna hurt us in that aspect as far as like black players? Is that gonna hurt us in our community as far as we've been trying to push this envelope of getting black athletes to go to these HBCUs, but then now you have a situation with the G League and whatnot to where it's like nobody's even going to want to play for colleges anymore, let alone black colleges. How do you feel like that is going to work?
The thing about the G League is that the G League is only accepting the elite of the elite. And I think they're going to keep it like that. Like it's going to be only 5 to 7 players that are going this G League, right? We're not accepting everybody to go to the G League. Like we're not doing that. So I still think there's going to be players available that can go that HBCU route and that can grow that environment. Because I don't think everybody is going over there to play for the G League. I think they're going to keep it at small. Keep it because like not Edgar, but like Derek said, they're going to raise the money because they're not going to pay all these players coming out of high school $1 million. Like that shit just ain't going to happen. It's got to be the elite of the elite that can really like perform in our system. So I think we can still grow.
I think that if the NCAA gets hurt, those HBCUs will hurt as well. That's automatic. But the one of the reasons why I love the G League so much is because now it's also giving these guys that want to be coaches in the NBA opportunity to coach at that level. So it's like it's almost like a resume for them as well. So it's like
shout out to Jason Hart too. Jason Hart was somebody just like that.
Yeah. So I think that if you have more former players that want to get into coaching that decide to go to the G League to coach, that's also another way you bring in more eyes. Like I think there's just different ways to do it. Of course, like you said, it's not going to be every player that's college, that's in the college, that's in NCAA, that's going to go to the G League. But I think the top ones will more so want to go. So now it's going to make the NCAA have to figure something else out. That's all I'm saying. I think they're going to have to figure out some type of strategy to make those players want to stay versus going when that money goes up. And
we're not even talking about the possibility of them taking away the one and done rule. And that's really gonna kill more than the G League. Once they cut out that one and done shit, that's gonna hurt the NCAA more than anything else. Because players that aren't even ready for the NBA are still gonna jump into that NBA pool because they think they are ready. So that's going to hurt them more. I don't know when that decision is going to come. I haven't heard about it recently, but that's going to hurt them even more than anything else.
Yeah. And then some of those players are going to end up going to the G League.
For sure. And let's move on to the downfall of the Big 12. So we already talked about Texas and Oklahoma eventually going to the SEC, but I heard that Iowa State and Kansas want to go over to the Big 10. So those are 4 schools that are leaving or that are trying to leave the Big 12. Are we looking at the downfall of this conference at this moment? Because look at everybody trying to get out, because the 2 best teams that you have for years is Oklahoma and Texas. Without them, what is this conference for real?
I honestly feel like everything is coming together perfectly if you're if you're the head people in college football, because first off, you're trying to expand the playoffs. You're trying to make it 8 to 12 teams. So you're already trying to make it more teams. So why have all these different conferences? Why not just have damn near everybody under 1 to 2 different conferences, and in that way it'll be easier, to place the teams in the playoffs. But Clemson and Florida State also have come out and said they want to join the SEC. So
everybody's saying that.
Did they?
Everybody's saying that.
I'm like, bro, Clemson and Florida. Granted, Florida State has been trash for like the past few years now, but it's Florida State. They still have weight in their name, and then Clemson, we all know the powerhouse they have become. So it's like everybody wants to join the SEC, but at the same time, the Big Ten, I don't think anything's going to change with the Big Ten. They're going to stay who they are. So the Big Ten and the SEC are the only 2 conferences in the next 5 years I see standing tall in the end. And that's why I think if you have 8 to 12 playoff teams and you got the Big Ten conference and the SEC conference, and you might have to rename them, obviously, for team joining reasons, but 2 conferences, 8 to 12 team playoff, that makes perfect sense. Kind of like an East-West type of thing.
I feel like you would have to balance it way more though because I feel like if you're gonna do it that way, I feel like it's gonna be one conference that's super good and then one conference that's ass and nobody truly
you have
respects.
To balance it. You have to
because look, all the best teams are going to be in the SEC. You got Clemson that want to come. You got Alabama that's going to be in the SEC. You got Georgia, LSU. Like those are the teams that are mostly in the college football playoff. So you have to balance it more than putting everybody in the SEC. I know that's where all the talent is going, but you have to balance it. And when it comes to the expansion of the college football playoff, I feel like the requirements will have to change because the losses are going to be off if all of this talent ends up coming in.
Caleb, y'all definitely said that shit. No, I'll give you the link. He talking about they didn't say that shit. They definitely did. I seen a whole article on that shit. Clemson and Florida State said they definitely want to join that shit. They definitely said that shit.
He said y'all want to join that bullshit. I don't understand why they try to join either. They like,
I don't know
either.
Cool.
They should be cool in the ACC. Like that, y'all can defeat that conference. But I feel like if you have multiple losses in the SEC, like that shouldn't hamper you from making the college football playoff anymore because your conference finna be stacked. If you got Alabama, Clemson, Florida, LSU, Georgia in the same conference, and I end the season with like 3 losses, nigga, I should still be in the college football playoff.
You're going to see a lot of teams. You're going to see a lot of teams like losses, that, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that should change the criteria of the shit. Because if we're making these super conferences, it could be 3 teams that's in the college or 3 lost teams that are in the college football playoff.
What would you suggest the rule change would be?
I don't think everybody should be doing all this switching. I don't think they should do just one in the SEC. Like the way it is now, I feel like it's good, especially with the expansion that you're trying to do. Like Texas and Oklahoma coming over to the SEC, that's cool. And if the Big 12 ends up breaking up, I heard that they want to partner up with the Pac-12. So if the Pac-12 and the Big 12 end up coming together, that's cool because nobody really care about that, about those conferences like that because it's all about the SEC and the Big 10 at the point.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you do it like that, it would be cool. But if you try to put everybody like Clemson and Florida State in the SEC, that's too much. That's too much in the SEC. It should be more balanced, you know what I'm saying, than just everybody in one conference.
I think there should be 2 conferences too, because I'm telling you, to be completely honest, the conferences throw me the fuck off, man. I'm still trying to learn all of them.
He say that because he don't know.
I'm still trying to learn who's in which conference in terms of the smaller conferences. I'm still trying to learn all that. Like I would prefer there be 2 conferences so that I can keep up with things a lot better. But yeah, no, that's gonna be interesting.
That's crazy, bro. How you feel about the Big 12 and Pac-12 coming together? You think that shit should do? They should go like that way?
I mean, might as well. Why not?
Might as well. This is why I said
why not? Why not?
Big Ten and the SEC,
so much more.
The Big Ten and the SEC going to be the last 2 big conferences standing because by 2025, when Oklahoma and Texas finally join the SEC, there are going to be several other teams by then that are saying, yeah, we don't want to be in our conference no more. We want to go here, or We want to join with this conference to be able to battle the SEC and all of that.
Yeah, and I feel like it would be more than just going to the Pac-12. I think you can have like a couple teams from the Big 12 going to the Big 10, a couple teams from the Big 12 going to I think the Big 12 is going to be the conference that breaks everything up. Like everybody is going to break up because the two teams have left. So 2 teams going to the Pac-12, 2 teams going to Big 10, 2 teams going to the ACC, and probably a couple more teams going to the SEC. But it should still be at least 4 conferences, bro. So it shouldn't be like so off kilter. Because what I'm telling y'all, when it gets to college football playoff time, niggas are going to be crying about 3-loss SEC teams getting in. Because they already cry about 2-loss SEC teams getting in, even though we have the toughest conference. So if we get Texas and Oklahoma in our conference, it's going to be 3-loss SEC teams that are better than Pac-12 teams, that are better than some Big 10 teams.
Because let me tell y'all now, Oregon's going to be the next team. They're going to be like, we got to get out of
BS3, what's good with you, my boy?
They're gonna be like, we gotta get out of this trash ass Pac-12, boy.
For sure.
Oregon gonna say that, and USC gonna say that.
So, what's the pitch to players to come to other teams that are not, to those schools that are not in the SEC or the Big 10?
You got a chance to be a big name at a lesser known school, and you might get more money from the NIL rules.
That was your best option. That's probably what it could be. That was my best option. Like I didn't get recruited by these Floridas or the Oklahomas or the Texases, so I ended up at Kansas State. So that's still the appeal of it.
But I'm getting a big ass check because I'm a big name here, and they recruited me, and the NIL is like, well, ain't nobody else to get money to. So.
I honestly forgot about the NIL's impact with that. So yeah, that.
But you still have to be like a big name, like social. You just can't come to the NIL and be like, damn, I'm the best player on the team, so I'm gonna get a lot of money. Like you still have to have like a lot of social media followers like that.
It might work like that though, bro. It might work like that.
I don't think it's like that.
Let's say if you're like who's a team that's like Utah, for example. Utah had a good record. I want to not this past season, but the season before. That granted, they obviously weren't college football playoff bound or whatever, but they were in the top 15 teams at one point. And it's like everybody's looking like Utah. Nobody even really watches Utah like that. But what if you're the best player on Utah and you're turning that program around to be ranked top 25? You might get a check for that.
Utah, I ain't giving nobody no money. I don't know. I ain't giving nobody no money at Utah. They're gonna run loose with some more.
You're breaking into the top.
We're gonna get another. What's my boy? What's the serial killer? Bundy. We're gonna get another Bundy that come out of that. I see a lot of downhill spiral with giving somebody money in Utah. I don't like it.
Oh god.
What you call it? Oklahoma State. You know, Oklahoma is obviously better than Oklahoma State, but Oklahoma State be having some good seasons, and they have good draft picks. They have good players going into the draft every now and then. So even though they only break the top 25, but just breaking it might be program altering enough for somebody to want to sponsor you and give you big money. But
that's my point. You have to be like high profile on the team. Like you have to be like Heisman conversation. When we talk about like millions, that's what I'm talking about more so like millions. Because everybody's gonna be getting paid. But I think like to be in the upper echelon, like you have to be like in that Heisman conversation. Like Bryce Young getting $2 million. Like dude from the Clemson quarterback DJ, he getting like $3 million from Bojangles. Like these niggas getting the multi-million dollars. Like you have to be like Heisman conversations. Yeah, Bojangles threw him that check. Bojangles threw him that check.
$3 million from Bojangles?
Yes. Bojangles has $3 million.
Yes. They're big in the South Carolinas too, bro. They threw about $1 million.
They are, bro. I will never eat there again.
They biscuits.
The Bojangles by me that when I was in Gainesville, the Bojangles by me got robbed every day. Like we got a notification. Like, why are you still opening?
You gotta come in there with a bulletproof vest.
Niggas gonna go to war over that chicken, boy.
There's no money left.
That food ain't even that good, man.
Man, I'm telling you, in Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, but they go crazy for that Bojangles.
I know. My ex took me to one. Bro, I will never eat there again. Ever.
I'll take Popeyes 10 times out of 10. For sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, bro. Let's move on to 2 Wild Wednesday, bro. What we got for this week?
First poll. The Chicago Bulls are the biggest winners in free agency so far. 2 Wild or not 2 Wild?
2 Wild. Capsule.
I would see why someone would say that.
I said not 2 Wild. I got Miami as the best, but I said not 2 Wild.
Yeah,
you can make a case for it.
You know what would be wild is someone saying Spurs. Now that would be too wild.
He's not gonna let that go.
that is.
They did add a lot of talent. They added the most talent, bro. Like when it comes to improvement, they could be the best winner when it looks at.
So you're saying most improved.
Most of them, they can be the most improved, yeah. But I don't think they're the biggest winner because I think the best player, yeah.
That's by
That's 61% too wild though. So more people agree with Quincy on that one. LeBron will turn Westbrook into an efficient guard come playoff time. Too wild or not too wild?
Oh, come playoff time.
Too wild. Hey, read what old girl has said in the comments.
Oh yeah, Jazz, my dog Jasmine. He won't turn him into an efficient guard, but his role will certainly improve since he doesn't per se need the ball in his hands now that he's playing with teammates he can trust.
That's a great way to say it.
I still don't think he will. I think he's going to be the same Westbrook though.
Like you said earlier, playoff time, he's going to want to take over. LeBron's going to want to take over. They're both going to ball at the same time. This is weird because we said the same thing about Houston when Westbrook went there with Harden. It didn't really turn out to be like that. They seemed to be able to work it out a little bit, but
he went to the side for sure. He did.
Yeah, it did. He took the back seat. Mm-hmm. So if he's able to do it in that situation, he should be able to do it in LA. I don't know.
I feel like come playoff time, he'll understand what's going on. Like I said, during the regular season, Russ is gonna eat. Russ is gonna put up the stats that this will be the first time in like the past few years. I don't think he will have a triple-double season, but he will put up great numbers because I feel like while he's leading the team, he's going to learn how to play in a more true guard way. That way, when playoff time comes and Bron tells him, okay, look, it's time to draw back a little bit, he'll be more relaxed and able to do so. So I agree with Jasmine. Like Bron won't necessarily turn him into that, but Russell having in his head, like, okay, I don't have to play this way the entire time.
Yeah. I see. I don't, the wording of turning Westbrook, I think is what getting me, because it's not like we're not talking about a rookie. We're talking about a vet.
Westbrook is Westbrook.
Okay. Westbrook is Westbrook. I think it's the wording that more so for me that like, will it happen? Yeah. But I don't think it's because LeBron is saying, "Hey, nigga, you need to step back."
Hey, nigga, I know you're 32 years old, but you got to step back.
That's the part where I was saying, like, I don't know if it's him actually doing it, but I think he'll be able to step back.
Do y'all think we're gonna get some Bron, like some tension this year? Do y'all foresee that, or y'all think it's gonna be a smooth coming together with Bron and Westbrook? Are they gonna butt heads? Y'all foresee butting heads?
They had dinner. They talked. He went over his house and shit. So I'm like, hey, I'm sure they talked already that we might butt heads this season. I'm sure they've had that talk already.
Personally, I don't see it being. I think it's going to be smooth, mainly because LeBron knows this is toward the end for him. I think he's only staying in the league until Bronny comes in. They can play together for 1 year, and then he's gone. So. Yeah, exactly.
That's why I said.
Yeah, so I think he knows. Let me step back for a second. Let Westbrook do his thing in the regular season, especially when AD needs rest, whatever. Let him take control. But yeah, he'll go back into LeBron playoffs. Yeah.
I said not too wild, and 62% say not too wild for that one. Shout out to my dog Jasmine. She writes for the Windsor for the Dallas Wings.
Yes,
the next one, the Charlotte Hornets are the biggest losers of free agency so far. Too wild or not too wild?
Too wild. The New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah. Easy.
Hey, when you trade your basically your all of your role players, you let Lonzo Ball go. You let
the guy Zion loved.
That Zion loved. And you said you want Kyle Lowry in there, who you really had no chance to get because you weren't even the second option. You free up all this cap space, and you get nobody. You get nobody. You got the same team and less niggas. Nah, oh, boy. Zion is about to leave. And I want to say this too because I think Zion will be the first player, I think maybe ever, that will not get past his rookie contract with a team. Like he's not getting past this 5 years with New Orleans. After that, those years are up. He's gone. Like, he's not signing a second contract that could be like 5 years, 190. He's not signing one of those. He's leaving.
Could you potentially see him want to go to Charlotte to team up with Melo?
I wouldn't be mad at it. I would like it, actually. Yes.
I said Charlotte was the biggest loser because of the two players that I said they lost, Devontae Graham and Malik Monk. And it's just because of the fact that we had there were playoff hopes. I was saying this past season that the Hornets had a chance to make the playoffs. Like the way they were playing, if LaMelo didn't get hurt, I felt like they were going to make it. So the fact that they had playoff hopes and it turned into them losing two key players, granted, you did get Book Knight and you did get some draft picks, but it's like I feel like you didn't have to give up any pieces that you already had, really. I feel like getting Book Knight and, keeping at least Devontae Graham, I feel like they would have been straight with that.
I think they're going to want to try to trade Hayward pretty soon.
For sure. I heard that.
I think that's what's going to end up happening. And, hey, man, I'll just leave that alone.
Hey, bro. Don't throw no shade to it, that nigga. Don't throw no shade. But, yeah, I don't think he get past his rookie contract, bro.
Hey, man.
But I think Charlotte will be in that tier with Chicago. I think they're going to be in that tier. I think their rookies that they brought in are that good to make an impact. Even though you lose Devontae, your rookies are going to be good. Kai Jones is going to be good. You lost Cody Zeller, but Kai Jones, and you get JT Thor and Scotty Lewis. The rookies, they're going to be young. That's the only thing. But they're going to be good.
Who are their bigs now? Because Zeller's gone. Biombo's still there.
I think they're going small, bro.
They're going small.
PJ Washington might be
PJ Washington better ball out.
Yeah.
He better ball out. I mean,
you see what happened with Brittany Renner?
That's what I'm saying. He got no choice. That nigga got no choice, bro.
That poll was 54% not too wild. The next one, Derek is going to have fun with this one. The Colts should make a move to get Nick Foles due to the Carson Wentz injury. Too wild or not too wild? Two names that he probably just really doesn't want to hear right now.
Hey, bro. Look, real talk. Everybody kept saying that it was a Philly curse. I think it was a Wentz curse.
Yeah.
Quentin Nelson has the same injury? That doesn't.
He rubbed up on him. They probably went out to dinner. Rubbed that nigga. They probably played footsie for a little minute. That nigga just transitioned to this injury, my nigga.
Hey man, it's like the Monstars effect, bro. Like, be completely honest, yeah. they should go get Nick Foles. I don't think they will though, because I think if they do that, Frank Reich knows what happened to Philly, how Wentz felt. That's gonna undermine.
Wentz got a man up though. Like, you can't be.
I've been saying that.
You can't be physically unable, and you can't be mentally unable, bro. You gotta give me something, bro.
Choose one.
Exactly. You can only be one. You can't be both, bro. You can't be both.
And Nick Foles came out in the press conference when they tried to spark that rumor up and bring it to his attention. He said, "I'm a Chicago Bear right now." He made it clear that he doesn't want to go.
All right, bitch. You're gonna be a coach in 2 hours.
I think he's going. I don't think he has much of a choice.
He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, because Chicago are already good. They don't have to worry about the quarterback position.
Yeah. So, you seen Justin Fields? His highlights? That shit look crazy.
I think he's getting that spot day one.
For sure.
That's 57% not too wild.
Yeah. Go get Nick Foles.
Next one. This one was pretty interesting. What team has the most to prove this season? The Rams, the Packers, the Ravens, or other?
That's tough.
I said the Ravens.
I think the Ravens too, because Lamar Jackson. This is what, year 4 for him?
Mm-hmm.
I think it is 4. Your
comparison is Mahomes, right?
Josh Allen. I think
I'm talking about who your name is connected to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not talking about in terms of play. We've seen what Mahomes has done already the first couple of years in the league. I think they're in the AFC. They've got a really nice team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they've improved.
And they lost some pieces though. They did lose some.
They lost some pieces.
They lost some, but they gained some.
They gained some too. Yeah. This is a prove it year for them. I'm not putting it all on Lamar Jackson, but I think this is a prove it year for them for sure. Yeah, Rams are kind of playing with house money to me, to be honest.
But it's like with the Rams, I chose the Ravens, but I'm gonna go through each one as quickly as I can. With the Rams, they made the Super Bowl a few years ago, so it's like, granted, as a team, you don't say that in your head. Well, we made it a few years ago, we're straight. But everybody else is looking at it like that. But I feel like the Rams are looking at it as we've had potential to get to the Super Bowl again, and we just haven't done that. So now that we have Matthew Stafford, who has been kind of overlooked in quarterback conversations a lot because he was with the Lions, they're looking at it now as, okay, now we fixed the problem. We have a quarterback and we have one of the best defenses in the league. We have no excuse to not make it. With the Packers, they have something to prove because this whole Aaron Rodgers situation, you've been pissing them off for the past 2 years. He's been pissing y'all off. Y'all got him Randall Cobb back. Let's just see what y'all can do this season. If you can't do shit, he's walking. We all know that. And then the Ravens, everything you just said.
Yeah, it's just time for them. I just think there's more pressure on Ravens than Rams, because the Rams, while I agree with you, they did make the Super Bowl and all that stuff. The only problem that they had was at quarterback. Every other piece was like no brainer. They were already there. Like you're not doubting that defense.
And with the Ravens, the Browns on their ass now. Like the Browns can really win that division now. So the Ravens, everybody looking at y'all like, hey, y'all finna let the Browns and OBJ coming back too? Yeah, Ravens them division games gonna be crazy.
I'm excited.
I think it's the Rams though, because the Rams have Stafford, and Stafford has a lot on his shoulders. I think he will win MVP this season, so I think he will come through.
Really?
Yes, I do think he will win MVP. So I think he will come through on the pressure, but I think it's a lot to prove right now because he had a lot of questions. Is he the guy? Because you can say the same thing about the Rams. Like the Rams had the defense, what they were missing quarterback. You have the wide receivers, you have the running back. So it's like, hey, we need to get some shit going. Matt Stafford, niggas is saying you the guy. Show me something. So I think it's the Rams.
Yeah, he did a lot with little in Detroit. So, like,
and if Jared Goff can at least get you, halfway pretty deep into the playoffs, Matt Stafford, we're expecting a Super Bowl. So.
Yeah, for sure.
But the Ravens are winning that poll 38%. Packers are second at 31%. And other is in third at 16%. Rams are in last in that poll. Next one. The Dallas Mavericks should sign Dennis Schroeder. 2 out or not 2 out?
Depends on how much.
I'm about to say that's the money.
if he getting the MLE, then it's fine. Yeah. But if he try to get a big contract, nah, buddy.
I think he's now saying like let's do 60. 60, no.
Nah.
I said not 2 out. Yeah.
2 out.
This is the most voted poll. This had 140 votes. Like
because niggas was talking shit about Schroeder today.
Yeah.
There was a lot of Schroeder niggas typing in Schroeder today.
Yeah. That'd be hilarious if he goes over there and get some type of money, but I mean,
you ain't gotta pay him that much if you're Dallas.
You're not paying. Yeah, you're not because he's not. He's
begging to get signed. He's begging to get signed.
And would OKC sign him? Because did he play for OKC a couple years ago? Would OKC bail him out and say, "Well, I'll throw you this big 1-year contract so we can develop Josh Giddey, who we just drafted, or you can run with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for another year"? Would OKC do that? Because they have the money.
How much are you throwing at him? That's the question.
It's a big 1 year. 2025, they could throw at him. And that could be the
buyout. Is that after the buyout?
After the buyout. They have enough money. Who are they paying? They're not paying anybody.
If you're OKC, you have nothing to lose with that. Really.
You have nothing to lose. And he has the relationship. He has the relationship.
I agree with that. I didn't know their money situation in terms after the buyout, like how much that was going to be. But yeah, I agree with that. That'd be a good look.
They're not paying anybody right now. Shai's extension doesn't kick in until like next year. So they're not paying nobody for this season. Like, so they have money to spend.
Yeah, I can see OKC. I think Dallas first though. I've been saying the big name, not saying Schroeder is a big name for real, but I've been saying the big name needs to go to Dallas for like the past month now. Dallas is just on nobody's radar, and I feel like
nobody wants to play with a Luka.
Yeah.
I just don't like that. I don't like that narrative that nobody wants to play with Luka. It's like I feel like
it's going to happen. It's going to be the same thing.
You can be a Bradley Beal and team up with a Luka. I feel like that could happen.
If you get traded there.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I'm just saying.
Bill ain't running to Dallas.
Like I'm not running to Dallas. If I'm McCollum, I'm not running to Dallas. But if I'm traded there, it's cool.
You got no choice.
Everybody saying pushing the trade though, because you know how players like if they know they can't walk and go, they're gonna let the front office know. Look, I want to get traded here. You guys don't even see players trying to push a trade to get there.
For what?
Nah, because people see how Luka plays. You see, bro, Luka has the ball in his hands 95% of the time. Nobody wants to play with that type of player, bro.
The only time you get the ball is when he's on the bench.
I don't want to play with a player like that unless Luka's going to take a step back. And what we see how good he is when his usage is this high. So it's like, is Luka going to be ready to take that step back? I don't think Jason Kidd is going to tell him to take a step back. Jason Kidd might rev this shit on even more.
That's exactly what he's going to do.
Exactly. So if I'm a shooting guard like McCollum, I don't want to go there. I'm not going to touch the rock unless it's a kick out.
All you're doing is setting screens and rolling.
Yep, catch and shoot. Hey, I'm here, Luka. I'm here if you need me.
Not Too Wild is winning that poll 59% though. The last couple we could just run through these. This one was 94%. Did the Miami Heat improve, stay the same, get worse? I think everyone agrees they improved, of course. Mm-hmm. Big 12 will break up by 2025 after Texas and Oklahoma leave for the SEC. Too wild, not too wild.
Not too wild.
Not too wild. And back to Luka.
My only question about that though is it actually going to take till to 2025?
That's when the TV contracts are up.
That's when it's okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. All right. And last one: if Luka and the Slovenia team beat Team USA, does Luka get that title of face of the league?
Not too wild.
Not too wild. You gotta say that. You gotta say the next.
Okay, I'll say like this. People will say it, but I don't agree with it. So it's not too wild that people will say it. I just don't agree with that shit.
That's good enough for me.
Oh shit, man.
That's good enough.
All right, man. Let's move on to entertainment and current events. First thing I want to talk about is Rihanna reaching this billionaire status. This shit is crazy. We already know that she hasn't made music in a long time, but why would she make music if this makeup with Fenty, the clothing deal, if that's gonna take off? We're not gonna see anything else from Rihanna anytime soon. But what's your reaction to this? I never thought she was this close.
Well, I knew she was this close.
Yeah, they said that last year.
Oh, they said it last year? Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
They said she was going to touch it. She has Forbes broke down her billionaire fortune and reports. Damn, she damn near finna touch too. She has 1.4.
That makeup shit going crazy, bro. Once you slap a celebrity name on anything, niggas gonna buy it. But if your shit is actually good product, your shit going through the roof. And her shit is good product.
Yeah. And they say Savage Fenty is worth $270 million. So she could sell that shit and get like a whole extra 300 mil.
Are y'all surprised Beyonce hasn't done anything like this? Seeing the success of a Rihanna, like I know she has that Ivy Park like clothing, but
with
like,
Adidas.
With Adidas, but why hasn't she done anything like this? Especially after seeing Rihanna.
That's a good question.
I think it's because first off, that Ivy Park shit isn't available to everybody. It feels like she only gives it to celebrities.
She sent it up to certain people.
She gotta mail it to you.
So
nigga.
That's one thing with the Ivy Park shit. Two, Ace of Spades. Granted, there's always money in liquor, but not everybody can just get Ace of Spades. Anybody can get Douce. Anybody can get Hennessy. Anybody can get all these other liquors. But Ace of Spades, that's some shit like big baller type shit. So I don't think she's getting that much money off of that just for the same fact of Ivy Park. It's not available to everybody.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't like what works for Rihanna might not work for Beyonce.
True.
I mean, just like everybody can't do everything.
True.
Lingerie works for Rihanna. Makeup works for Rihanna.
Beyonce got 3 kids and an ugly husband. Lingerie.
Damn, bro.
Chill, my nigga. Damn. What's good with you? You got me.
Jay-Z, if you see this, bro.
I don't know where that. He's never said that before.
That was a joke. He didn't mean it.
Jay-Z is definitely one of the best MCs of all time, no doubt. But we all know that Beyonce loves this nigga for his personality. We all know this.
Whoa.
I ain't touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I'm not touching that. Jay-Z signed me, dog. Jay-Z, signed me too.
Jay-Z. I'll throw up the Rock Nation, bro. Hey, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you.
All day.
Y'all and so every other celebrity that they come up. No, I want to join my nation.
I want to know what the billionaire is. I want to know where he is.
No, but I like what Beyonce is more so focused on. I think she's doing a lot of stuff for communities as well. Like, I don't think her mind is on that. Their worth is already there on that level in the billions. So I don't think that she really cares about that right now. Will she at some point? Most likely, probably. I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense, but I don't think that's where her focus is right now. So yeah, what's working for Rihanna right now, like you said, she don't have kids. And
she's probably more in love with the art. I mean, I feel like Rihanna was something.
That's a grind, bro.
It's a grind.
You gotta be in love with that shit.
Exactly. It's something that Rihanna was in love with for a point of time. But it's like, if I can do this, I love this, the clothing, the makeup, I'm gonna go toward this. And Beyonce is probably somebody who came into the game young and she loved this shit from early age.
You know who Rihanna actually reminds me of though with doing this? Waka Flocka.
How?
Waka said recently that he used music to get the money.
Oh yeah.
Now he got on that status. Now he's trying to go make other moves. I think that's what Rihanna did. I think she utilized music as a stepping stone to get to a certain level. She's at that level. Now she's going to move on to this. And if she never comes back to music, to be honest, I'm cool with it.
Yeah. And a lot of people should have that mindset too, because for a lot of these rappers, your time is not long. Like, you're gonna have a little time in this business. Like, get as much money as you can. When you feel like your buzz is running out, go do other shit. Stop trying to, you know what I'm saying, build on some hype that's not there anymore. Like, go and do some other shit.
It's the fact that with Rihanna, the hype is still there. That's what's crazy to me. Like, it's the talent, it's the super talented people that are like, yeah, I don't want to do that no more. It's like, what? And then you got all the people who aren't as talented that are still trying to force us to listen to their shit. So the people that's actually raw at this shit, they're like, yeah, I just need to do that so I can really do this. And we're like, you actually can do this shit for real. And they're like, nah. But then the people that like Coi Leray, they're gonna force you.
Bro, oh my God, don't bring her up, bro. Oh my God.
And shout out to Rihanna when coming out with the plus size stuff. Like, all that plus size lingerie. That's where I feel like that's what really got her that bag, because nobody does that. Nobody has a lot of plus size model shows and all of that stuff.
And for it to actually look good too.
That's what's up.
You know.
Shout out to Rihanna, man. Big B status for sure. Let's move on to Dipset versus Lox Verzuz last night. How did y'all feel about it, man? Jadakiss was back in the spotlight. We seen Cameron again, Jules Santana, Jim Jones in the building, man. How y'all felt about last night? It was a lot of intensity in there. I felt like a nigga was going to throw some hands.
Bars still exist. I want to let everybody know that bars still exist. I know we're in an era now where flows and, cadences really take over the rap game and commercialism. But in the art of rap, freestyling will never die and bars will just never die, period.
Is Jadakiss top 5 of all time?
No. It depends on what you're talking about. You talking about just rappers? Like, you just say rapper? No.
Rappers.
No.
Bro,
that's an argument, bro.
That's a definite argument.
That's an argument, bro. I'm not a Jadakiss fan, but bro, I've listened to a lot of Jadakiss in my lifetime for a long time. Like, this is 2 decades here.
I'm not mad for people who don't put him up there, but I'm not upset for people that do put him up there.
He's an acquired taste, I feel.
He is.
If we just talking about bars, about bars, yes.
Yeah. That's all we're talking about when we come to rap. Yeah.
Oh, if you're just talking about bars, then Jadakiss. But I'm thinking y'all talking about like rappers, like the whole like persona of a rapper, like the image, the impact, and all that other shit. Yeah.
No.
Bars,
no, we're talking about bars.
Because y'all not putting Jadakiss projects over a lot of these other nigga projects.
No. But when you talk about bars, though, like
he could be top 5.
Yeah, like I said, I think I see the argument for people that say he is. I see the argument for people who say he's priced just right outside top 5.
Yeah. And how did y'all feel about the outcome of last night? Because Lox really washed Dipset. And I grew up listening to Dipset. It's crazy. I listened to Jim Jones and Cameron and all them Jules Santana. It was crazy because I thought they were more of the commercial group, but Lox came in and just smacked them niggas right off the head. Like Jules Santana got his damn bandana snatched off by Jadakiss. Like the disrespect was real last night.
The performance, bro. The performance and the energy, that I feel like that played a big part in them winning.
Not with it being New York,
falling off the stage. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on?
Was that not emblematic?
That shit is crazy, bro.
Hilarious, man. Nah,
that shit was crazy.
Are y'all
surprised? Are y'all surprised that shit was New York? I'm glad they had it in MSG too, bro.
That's the way to do it.
Environment,
yeah, that was some
That's the way to do it,
shit, bro.
Yeah.
And were y'all surprised by Dipset coming together for this because they've had beef like within the group for a long time? Like I remember Cameron was just talking shit about Jim Jones not that long ago, and they coming together for verses. That shit was surprising to me.
I mean, at the same time, if you're getting paid for it, are you not going to?
And I heard they're going on tour soon, bro. Lox and Dipset going on tour together.
They got added to that. They got added to that Lovers and Friends tour.
Oh, they did. B2K and all. That's what you're talking about. B2K.
I think
no, the one in Vegas.
You know the one in Vegas? Yeah, the Lovers and Friends tour with literally damn near everybody.
Bow Wow and all them.
Nah, hold on.
No. That's
what's the one with Bow Wow and B2K?
That's the Millennium tour.
Oh, Millennium tour.
Yeah.
The Lovers and Friends tour is gonna have Lauryn Hill, Ashanti, Ja Rule, Usher, Ludacris, Lil Jon. She's not. I don't even know why they had her as a headliner.
Y'all niggas know she ain't showing up.
They finna have all these people, bro. They finna have all these people. This
they had her name in big letters too. They had her as a headliner.
I love Lauryn Hill, but there's no way she's showing up.
They finna have Escape, Jodeci,
replace that with Keisha Cole,
Monica. I think Keisha Cole could be the. Bro, they finna have everybody there, bro. Everybody.
Replace that with Keisha Cole. We'll be fine. Hey, man, but shout out to Lox, man. Shout out to Dipset, Jadakiss, everybody that performed last night. But this is another thing about Versus. Everybody got their flowers last night. Everybody, that's the thing about Versus. Jadakiss, he was back on that platform. Everybody gave him his flowers last night. That's the big thing about Versus that nobody can take away from you. Everybody ends up picking a winner and a loser, but that shit really doesn't matter at the end of the day. But everybody getting their flowers is the biggest part about Versus, and I'm glad that both of these groups were put on this platform. So congratulations, bro, to both of them.
Yeah, I love that. I love Ice-T's idea with it though, because he said, I think it was Ice Cube. I'm sorry. He said that he would like to see it where if you're battling an artist, that artist is playing your music and you're playing their music. Like what you love from them, so it shows more love.
Yeah, that shit is fire.
I like that
each other? Like if it was Gucci and Jeezy, like you playing that other nigga shit?
Nah, that for them. Nah, they never would have done it.
Jeezy is not playing the truth. That's not happening.
No, hell no. But I think if Versus wants to lean more into giving the artists their flowers, I think that would be a great way to do it for sure.
That would be dope. You just can't do it for everybody though.
Not for everyone. Nah.
Hey, Gucci made it clear. Y'all know why I'm here.
Because look, 50 Cent's not playing Ja Rule's music.
Hell no.
50 Cent.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
He's a playing Ja Rule's music, bro.
People bust the cap in Ja Rule before he play his music, dog. Real shit. Real shit, my nigga. That Kane ain't gonna jump out of that nigga 50 Cent.
Yes, yeah.
Kane ain't gonna jump out of that. All right, man. Let's move on, bro. Scarlett Johansson suing Black Widow. Derek, I want you to dive into this, man. You got more background on the topic.
Yeah, I mean, so when and Black Widow got postponed because of COVID, so and that was after it got postponed already. But she was supposed to get the back end for the box office, and with them going straight to Disney Plus, that cost her, I think they said it was like upwards to like $50 million that she lost. And like I know for us, like it's like yo, like you already got a lot of money, like.
Nah, that's a lot.
Whatever. I don't look at it like that because I want everybody to get their money. But I'm saying I know like everyday people will probably look at it and like, you know, you're already rich. Like that's not really why would you be petty? But that's $50 million.
$50 million.
Exactly.
And $5.
Yeah, that's not like it's not like you just like lost a Twix bar or something like that. Now Kevin Feige, Kevin Feige actually agrees with her. for doing this because he didn't want them to put this on Disney Plus. He was fighting against Disney for doing that. So she's suing them. Emma Stone is about to sue or is considering suing for Cinderella. The Rock and Emily Blunt are considering to sue for Jungle Cruise. So it seems like this is the funny thing. Like I still don't understand why this is all happening with Disney Plus and not happening with HBO Max, because Warner Brothers, all the movies that went on that were announced to go on HBO Max this year, a majority of those actors were pissed off. I know Keanu Reeves said something about The Matrix going on there, and someone else said something, but all those actors are not like, they're not talking about lawsuits. That's the interesting thing.
A lot of these contracts, I feel like a lot of these contracts are like older and didn't like put into place that it was going to be a Disney Plus. Like they just thought it was always going to be box office. They weren't accounting for a Disney Plus.
It's a breach of contract.
Her contract was like, she probably signed that contract a minute ago.
I think it's because with Disney Plus, difference between Disney Plus and HBO Max, when HBO Max puts a movie on there and it's in theaters at the same time, you don't have to pay when it's on HBO Max. When they put it on there, it's just on there. On Disney Plus, when Mulan, like during COVID, when Mulan dropped, you had to pay $30 to watch that shit. With Cruella, you got to pay like $30.
Yes,
you got to pay like 20.
Extra.
You got to pay like $20 to $30. It don't matter if you got a subscription, you got to pay because it's Disney Plus Premier Access.
What? Yeah. And it's for like 3 months.
Yeah. It's not, you don't even get it the whole time. You just pay it and then you get it for like 3 months.
Black Widow won't be crazy. Black Widow won't be on there until October 6th in terms of regular play.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're talking about that came out late July. Yeah, that's a lot of money that she's going to end up losing. But also a lot of these actors don't have that same contract in terms of making money off the box office. So when you have that kind of money, that's why I understand with The Rock doing it. If The Rock actually goes through with this is going to shake the whole industry up, because I think this, like, COVID already caused them to fast track how movies were going to be released anyway. Like this was already the plan anyway. But when you're having movies that are made and actors are signing on with these contracts, like Denzel Washington makes off box office, right? So what was that movie? Little Things.
He should have made shit off that movie. He should have made shit off that shit.
When I talking about that movie, so you didn't even have to say it. You didn't even have to say it. Just keep going.
That was trash. But I don't think that because that released on HBO Max and in theaters. And I think he still made money from that because HBO Max, right? So I don't think that when you have these actors that are doing this, I'm sure they're going to sue, and also Disney might actually get slapped with a defamation lawsuit, because when you're talking about Scarlett Johansson is doing this without thinking about people with COVID and stuff like that, and she thinks, like, they're saying they were throwing all this stuff out there to be negative toward her with actually suing them. So I think they might actually get slapped with a defamation lawsuit as well. So
she's gonna get way more than that 50 million she crying for.
50?
She about to get 100, 200.
She about to get paid like more than Lonzo Ball.
She might get a.
She might get 100. She might get 100 for it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So I think that what this
at
is
minimum
actually
75.
At minimum, yeah. I think what this is going to actually do is force Disney Plus to either up their charge and get rid of the Premier Access.
Okay.
Or they're going to actually have to put it in the contracts where they're getting, I
think that's more reasonable.
Yeah, I think that's a small adjustment. It's a small adjustment. Like you're now putting yourself in a position where you're in breach of contract. That was a contract that was signed like 4 or 5 years ago. That makes no sense. And the Black Widow movie, like, it did well in theaters, but that was for the first, I think, 2-3 weeks. It's going to go down because this is something that a lot of Marvel fans are either they didn't really care about watching it, or they're waiting until it hits Disney Plus Sorry, yeah. I'm one of those. I'm waiting till October 6th. I'm not.
You didn't wait. Oh, you didn't watch it?
Hell no. No.
I think
you can pay 10 at the movies.
No.
It's for the fact that I think it's for the fact that we know it was supposed to happen before these Disney shows came out. So it's like, damn, like y'all didn't even really have to put it in theaters at this point.
And we know what happens to her.
Exactly. Like, it took away from the film.
This was like 5 years too late. We know. So like I'm gonna watch the movie and just be like, of course she's gonna get out of this. Like there's no
exactly.
There's no anticipations. Like I was really
watching it. I was really watching it to see, because with Marvel, you just never know, bro. Like I was watching because they might put a hidden gem in there for something else, or it might be one thing that you really have to pay attention to. So it's like with Marvel, that's how they get you. You have to low key watch everything because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Which is why I'm waiting until October 6th.
I'm about to say, unless you just don't care, you just read all the reviews and shit. So.
Yeah, I'll wait till it's free.
All right, man. Let's move on to dropthebaby.com, man. This nigga the baby going.
Nah, I don't think.
Bro, is that a real website?
I just made this shit up.
Oh, that would be beautiful, man. You should buy that. You should buy that, bro.
That sounds like a Planned Parenthood website. That sounds like a Planned Parenthood website. Oh my god.
That's what I'm saying. That would be perfect. You should buy that. You should buy that and sell it.
Hell yeah.
Not
wait for somebody to get that shit.
That's what I'm saying.
So my Jay-Z comment was terrible.
No.
You're allowing
this nigga the baby's a scumbag. He's a scumbag.
Yeah. I don't care about that nigga, man.
He didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do
anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong.
I'm gonna be that guy. He didn't do anything wrong.
Let me tell you this. What I found highly insulting about it is not just the LGBTQ slander, but he's acting as if HIV and AIDS is something that doesn't happen to heterosexual people. Like no one
didn't say that. He didn't connect the two.
Let me tell you something.
When he said that.
Let me tell you something. That's how I interpreted it when I watched it. I had a family member of mine died from that. Okay, exactly. Close relative of mine died from that. So I take that shit personal. So for me, for other people that have, and I like also a family friend of ours died from that like 12 years ago. So like I've known two people. So like, and they were on both sides of the spectrum. One was from the LGBTQ community, one wasn't, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's not something. It is attack. It is an attack. It's an attack. Not whether he meant it to be one or not. You cannot be upset.
You
cannot be upset when people interpret things like that. That is not a joke. Yeah. Like that's not something you can sit here and laugh about. And that's what he was doing.
Right. I'm not saying anything he said was necessarily right. It's just, all right, if we're gonna cancel him for this, I feel like we just need to dig up archives of every rapper and entertainer who has said shit like this and just cancel everybody. Because I've been to several concerts where
it's a different culture, though, bro. This was telling you last week. It's a different culture, bro.
I'm saying within the past 5 years. I'm talking about this LGBTQ stuff has risen over the past 5 years to where people could have gotten canceled for saying stuff like this, like already.
Kevin Hart damn near did.
He didn't even say anything that crazy. He got in trouble for some shit he said years ago before he even blew up. So I don't even know why he apologized. He made me mad when he apologized. And I'm like, bro, you said that shit before you even got famous for real. What the fuck? Like people were digging up old tweets of you. Like, why are you apologizing for that shit? But I feel like I've heard DJs say a lot worse. I've heard DJs in the club say a lot worse. Are we just gonna cancel everybody who says shit like this? Like
yes.
I think
everybody's picking and choosing, bro.
I'll say like this. I think when you're someone that is in the spotlight, it's not okay to say anything like this at all. Like, never is it okay. But when you're someone that's in the spotlight,
I've heard multiple people.
Right. But when you're in the spotlight though, and you've got money, you gotta be smarter about your decisions. Like, that was just dumb.
Unnecessary as fuck. Like, why are you saying that?
No one even. Why is that on your mind? Why is that on your mind? Who?
That was my biggest problem. It was so fucking unnecessary.
It was so random. So random. So random. There was no point in bringing that up. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's one of those things that he has to be careful. Now, should do people deserve second chances?
He's been dropped from like 8 to 10 festivals. Do you
Rightfully
feel like
so.
that was necessary?
Rightfully so.
I don't feel like
Rightfully so.
All that,
right. You know why? You know why?
Now
Look at
companies are trying to reach out to him to teach him about LGBT. He don't need to be taught about that shit. He don't care about
trying to mentor that nigga.
Which was the beginning of this whole thing. But but think about this, okay? As a business, you can't attach yourself to someone that's nuclear in the moment. So rightfully so, they dropped him, because if you put him on your platform, now it's possible you can get the same vitriol. Mm-hmm. Is it right or wrong? That's a different debate. That's what will happen though. Like, think about it like this. Like, what would happen if R. Kelly's label didn't drop him?
Label is associated with that nigga now. Now you accepting and condoning it.
So that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. It's all about perception. It's not about what's right or wrong. It's about perception. How are people reading you as a business? Mm-hmm. And you know, that's an impression. That's an impression. People are gonna live with that.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate with this right here, because I seen people bringing up Lil Nas X and stuff like that and try to compare it to the baby situation. And you got a lot of people saying that's not the same thing, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just going to point out a few things. Mm-hmm. We live in America. What is one of the very few things that America will never like shy away from as far as like pride? It's free religion, Christianity. Okay. On the money, what do we have? In God we trust. On the president symbol, what do we have? In God we trust. Mm-hmm. What's in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag. God is associated and all that and everything. Mm-hmm. When Lil Nas X did what he did with coming out with the devil worshiping type shoes and the devil praising music video, giving the devil a lap dance, dropping the hell and everything, other than Nike suing him, doing that little sue against him for dropping a Nike shoe without their permission, other than that, nobody canceled him. Why?
For what?
Because we live in a country that praises God, but nobody drops one of the most famous entertainers because he's expressing himself. This is what he's doing, blah, blah, blah. I feel like if Lil Nas X wasn't gay, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. If he wasn't gay, I feel like he would have got a cancel for the shit that he did. I'm gonna go ahead and say that.
For the hell shit? Billie Eilish did the hell shit for a minute. Billie Eilish on that.
There were a ton of artists that have put the devil in their music videos.
But this is what I'm saying. The
only thing that separates him is that he actually twerked on the devil and had shoes with blood in it. That's literally the only difference.
This is what I'm saying. We haven't canceled artists who've done, devilish shit, and we live in a country that prides itself on believing in God, but we cancel somebody on something that's just really grown over the past few years. We canceling somebody over.
I don't think the two are the same.
I know they're not the same, but I'm just saying.
I see what you're saying, but they're not the same.
I don't think the two are the same, because growing up in the church, like, that's all I knew, right? Mm-hmm. In the religious sphere, sure, you're gonna get canceled, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And they have canceled him.
They didn't like. I saw some videos of ministers saying wild shit over that. Mm-hmm. But that's it. That's it.
Parents still letting their kids, listen to people who do that stuff.
But in a world that is inclusive, bro, you can't do that shit with the LGBTQ community, bro. In a society that's inclusive.
I see the thing about it. Here's the thing. I'm not saying you're doing this, but when a lot of people will interpret that argument as demonizing the LGBTQ community. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things that it's like you have to almost be careful, because what Lil Nas X did isn't even close to what the baby did. Not even on the not the same level. It's not on the same field. None of that. That's all the way over here. What the baby did was wild. That was wild shit. I'm not saying that I didn't watch the video, right? I don't listen to Lil Nas X's music. Now, I think me personally. I think what he did was more so leaned into the whole outrage of social media, because once he did that, it built up his name even more. It drove people to go watch the video. You're gonna watch it out of outrage. You're gonna watch it out of love. Either way, you're watching, right? Likes to like Mayweather said. Whether you like me or not, you're still buying my pay-per-views. You still gonna pay attention. So I think to me, the strategy was more so from that angle for him. What the baby did was completely unnecessary, random, and it insulted not only the LGBTQ community, but people that have dealt with that are not in the LGBTQ community. You see what I'm saying? Like, you insulted everyone and then leaned into it to say, "Oh, I was working the crowd." Nigga, that's not how you work a crowd.
Everybody was like, "Whoa, nigga, what you talking about, nigga?"
This is not your first time.
It's not your first time, exactly. He know better too, bro. He know better.
Do you feel like he would have been? He's not gonna get forgiven. This is why I didn't really care if he apologized now, because I'm like, bro, like, they're not gonna forgive.
But we're going to forget about.
They're gonna forget.
We're going to
this nigga comes out with once this nigga comes out with another hit.
We're going to forget.
He literally came out with a music video the next day.
But we can't say just because we're going to forget that it wasn't wrong in the moment. We can't just go past it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not agreeing with anything he did. It's just the fact that I don't necessarily think it's worth everything that's happening to him right now.
It's worth it right now.
I mean, in the
it's worth it right now especially for other companies. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, if let's say OTS right now was as big as these places that are putting on these concerts, if I had the opportunity to bring the baby on to perform at my concert, I saw he said some shit like that, I'm not bringing him on
at all.
Even after the apology.
Hell no. He's
given 2 apologies.
I don't care.
But we live in a society where all you got to do is issue an apology and everybody forgives you. So
I don't care, bro.
We're not doing that no more.
I don't care.
We're not doing that. It don't matter.
Like I said, you have to forget. You just can't apologize. We have to forget about it.
Outside of my personal knowledge of what's happened with people that I know and family that I've known that have dealt with this, just knowing how nuclear he is to attach him to my business, hell no. Don't care. I do not care. Scrap. Now, next year, will this still happen? No. People it's money talks. So people will forget it in terms of saying, okay, I'm not gonna put him on the side. I'll bring him on, whatever. Yeah. But who's gonna be the first to do it? That's the point.
Take a risk.
It's going to take someone that takes a risk.
Yep.
I feel like this is all goes into what we said like last week and the week before. Cancel culture I don't feel like it just exists the way everybody else thinks it does. After a while, you're not canceled anymore. So
that's what I'm saying. It's going to blow over.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody agrees that it's going to blow over, but he was wrong in what he said.
Yeah, and he deserved what happened.
Exactly.
He deserved it. That for sure deserved it.
All right, man. Let's move on to the Max Berry plane incident. I got the video right here. Let me pull this shit up.
Plane? The hell
is that? Plane.
Let's go. You guys fucking suck.
Well, let me give y'all some backstory real quick. So
you gotta give us backstory.
So this is Max Berry right here. This is Max Berry. So he ended up groping, I want to say 2 to 3 of the stewardesses on the plane, and he ended up assaulting one of I think it was another male stewardess on the plane. He ended up punching him, and he ended up saying like, trying to use his white privilege. Y'all don't know who my grandpa is. Like, my grandpa is worth more than this plane, this, that, the third. So he's trying to use his white privilege to get out of the situation. And this is like the aftermath of the situation.
I don't work more than fucking 2 million goddamn dollars. And you know what? You fucking suck. Yeah. You know what? My grandpa is worth more than your fucking life. Fucking attorney. Shut up.
So he broke those stewardesses right there. This is the assault.
Yo, chill out.
And they ended up doing this. He ended up duct taping this nigga. Which is wild, bro. This is wild shit. I didn't even know this was legal.
It's not,
bro.
You're in the air.
And they put shit around his mouth.
Hell yeah.
So that
I
was
get it.
I truly understand it, but
That's wild, bro.
that's wild to do that on a plane. Like I know this nigga going crazy, but the duct tape this nigga
to a chair.
You going to this chair, nigga, and you going on a no-fly list.
No, that's the thing. This is what I wanted to bring up. He's not put on a no-fly list because of who his grandfather is. He didn't get sued. Nobody is pressing any charges because of who his grandfather is. I don't know who his grandfather is, but he's still on the fly list. He still can fly and all of that shit. His
grandfather is like
he's
one
high
of
up.
the Illuminati niggas.
He's one of the 1%. He's one of the 1%.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I would like to see, I wish they had shown how the first strip of tape got put around. How they were able to subdue him to get a first.
I feel like there was multiple people who sat him down and they was like, yeah, let's get this shit right. Let's get this shit right.
I feel like
tape on a plane, bro.
they did like off of Baby Boy when Melvin had Jody in the headlock. They had him like that.
That shit crazy. Oh, who is he? His name is Max Berry. He's just some white dude on the plane, but his grandfather, it must be somebody because he didn't get charges pressed against him. He didn't get sued, and he's not on the no-fly list. He's still able to fly and do whatever he wants.
Didn't they get it suspended?
I don't even know if he got suspended.
No. The flight attendants for.
They might have.
I think I read that.
I get suspended. You assault me. I'm at work.
The females, the stewardesses were groped by this man. They were groped, and then the other man who ran in was punched by him.
And we're in the air. There's no rules. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
In the air. What
and that's probably why they were suspended because of that. They tied him up like that. That's why they were suspended.
Yeah.
What state rules are we following if we're in the air? We're crossing multiple states.
That's a good point.
Across multiple states, probably that shit ain't legal.
Yeah.
When you put shit over his mouth.
They you could almost make an argument for kidnapping at that point. If you're Max Berry, whatever the white family, they probably could make an argument if they wanted to.
I want to be sued. That's
what I'm saying. Yeah.
If his name is Max Berry, is there a possibility that he's related to whoever created the BlackBerry? This is a legit question.
I don't know who he's related to. I don't know who he's related to.
I don't know who created the BlackBerry, bro.
What's his last name? The person that created the BlackBerry. What's his last name? Berry.
I don't. Now, if it is,
it will make sense.
Max Berry, grandfather.
Yeah, this is rich white people stuff for sure.
Yeah, he's Illuminati type level.
But you see what they can get away with if you causing that type of ruckus and groping.
But see, that's the thing. That's not even shocking. That's not shocking. We've seen how many other white people get away with other stuff that have money. That's not shocking. He got away with groping.
Wow, he's from Florida. He's from Florida.
Of course.
No, he's not from Florida. I listened on Breakfast Club. He's not from Florida, bro. He's from somewhere else. He ain't from Florida.
It says the aggressive drunk Florida man had to be restrained.
I was listening to something this morning. They said he wasn't from Florida. They was like, he's from somewhere else. But they was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's from Florida because this shit just loves to be attached to us.
I feel so bad for y'all, man.
Shit crazy. No, don't feel bad for us. Feel bad for these white folks. Like, that's what these alligators, Florida, man.
No, I don't feel bad. No, they're dumb for doing that. I don't feel bad for them when stuff happens to them. I don't feel bad for them. I just feel bad for the people that are good down in Florida. I got family in Florida.
We're all grouped together.
Yeah. Everybody groups y'all in with the idiots. Like, I feel bad for y'all in that sense.
Yeah,
they're not saying who his grandfather is. I'm going with whoever.
Yeah, I don't think that was in it. Yeah,
he's not. He probably wouldn't want anyone to know.
Yeah,
the grandfather wouldn't want anyone to know who he is. He's quiet.
For sure.
Quiet money is long money.
And I think this is the biggest deal of the whole situation. I agree with Denisha. People don't care about women for real.
Yeah,
they get assaulted on a plane, and this white male did this, and nothing happens to him.
Yeah,
it shows you how America feels about women, bro. Especially in the air.
Was it one of them black? He was
multiple. He did it to multiple women. Mm-hmm. It was 3 women. He did.
And this was Frontier, right?
Yep, Frontier Airlines.
Any black
Frontier's
man
like
on
a
that plane?
spirit. Like they bought him.
Yeah.
Any black
feeling
man
that.
on that plane, you see a black woman getting groped or anything, that like we got.
I agree with that. They should have all gone and teamed up on that one.
Women, period, no matter what race, but
Yeah.
especially if you're a black man and you see a white man doing that to a black woman in front of you,
Yeah.
And it looks like they were trying to talk to him when he was actually sitting down. They tried to come and talk to him again. I'm like, why y'all not stealing off on this nigga? Like he felt y'all niggas up. Like
And
they should be stealing
now
off.
if he were black,
Oh yeah, he would got his
true.
ass kicked.
That's true. That's
They
true.
would try to kick his ass.
they
would've tried to
probably
steal
throwing
off.
his ass out the plane if they could.
No bullshit. No bullshit. Would it be the first time? I swear to God, it would it.
Nah.
Man.
Nope.
Let's move on to Pass the Ox, man. What y'all got for song of the week, bro?
Ooh, what's the name of mine?
I got For the Love by Fabulous, bro. I've been listening to that shit a lot, bro. Soul Tape 2. Oh, one of my favorite mixtapes of all time.
I'm going with Senseless by Kodak Black.
I'm going with, this is the first one popped up, Wild Side by Normani.
Bro.
Listen, Normani is,
That song is so fire, dog.
bro.
That song and the video just adds on to it.
It does. And that video actually made me start thinking about the way videos used to be with like the 90s when they were focused heavy on choreography. I know people would think about look at that video and more so look at it for the sexual aspect. Bro, cinematography, the choreography, they were right on point.
Hard.
And to be completely honest, it didn't need Cardi B.
Oh my, she messed it up. She messed it up.
It didn't need her.
I've been saying that about a lot of Cardi features, bro. She messes them up, bro.
Normani.
Shout out to Silk Sonic and Bruno Mars and them. Skate.
They did drop a song. They did drop a song. They need to drop that album.
The album coming out, bro. I'm tired.
They playing.
They trying to take the Kendrick route.
That's an honorable mention.
Kendrick, it's a different thing with Kendrick. Is Kendrick ever gonna come back? Kendrick might be done with this kid. He might just be chilling with the kid.
He might be doing the Rihanna thing. You saw him on Power, right?
But that was the only thing, and that was a small role though.
Small role, but did he not play the shit out of that role?
Yeah, I believed it. I believed it for sure.
Bro,
did he play a crackhead?
He was crackhead.
Yeah. I think he was a Puerto Rican crackhead too.
Granted, I'm not gonna slight him, but I don't think it's that hard to play a crackhead. Granted, he did it though.
It's not, but he has if you've watched his music videos, you've seen that he has this ability to act, and it's there. I think if he wanted to, he could go to Hollywood. He could take the Tupac route.
I'm about to say Cube route. Damn near.
Yeah. Well, Cube because he's longevity, and Tupac did get cut short. So yeah, we'll go with Cube.
Yeah, bro. I was watching a Cube interview on All the Smoke, and they was talking about how he got it. Shit is definitely nuts, bro. They was talking about he met John Singleton like at some shit, and John Singleton wasn't even big yet. He was still at USC, but he John Singleton. He had to meet John Singleton like 3 different times, and he kept telling him like, Cube, like, I have this movie I want you to be in. I have this movie I want you to be in. He met him 3 different occasions, told him the same thing. Like Cube got a phone call, like had to be like a year later, and John Singleton was in the position to make the movie, which ended up being Boys in the Hood, and that was Ice Cube's first film, and that's crazy. Like the story of it, that shit was for how he got into the movie industry.
Yeah, I could see Kendrick doing that
for sure. Yeah, and definitely RP to Singleton too, John Singleton. Great mind is gone.
Snowfall.
I thought the show was going to go downhill when he passed. I was like, damn. I hope they don't take a dip. I hope they don't take a dip when he passed, bro. But
very rarely do you see something like that happen where they lose a showrunner and actually do even better.
Exactly. Exactly.
I think it's because he paints out the vision very well it's like for multiple seasons. Especially from the seasons they've already had. Like if he tells you, okay, we're only gonna go to this season, then we're gonna end it. It's like, okay, if he passes now, it's like he's painted the picture for us already. All we got to do is just make sure we stick to that vendetta. So
that's a good point.
All right, but let's move on to movie and show reviews. Edgar, bro, what we got coming out? We got old coming out. I know we got old. We got an old review to do.
Y'all saw that?
Bro, that shit.
Don't watch it.
I don't plan on it. Trust me.
We came out with Raising Kanan.
We gotta do old. We're doing Raising Kanan every week. We gotta do old. What you call it? I didn't watch Snake Eyes yet, but Quincy watched it, so I'll go see it and we can do Snake Eyes. We got a lot of shit. Tomorrow War we still ain't doing.
Reminisce comes out next week. Suicide Squad.
Yes.
Suicide Squad. Hey, Reminisce. I feel like low key Reminisce might be one of the most underrated movies this year.
Bro, Hugh Jackman is gonna play his ass off, bro. Hugh Jackman, I feel like he hasn't found his footing since Wolverine. I haven't really paid attention to him after.
I don't
Wolverine.
think he cared. I think he kind of wanted a break.
That Wolverine bag held him over.
Oh yeah.
Because then he played like some jungle movie. Like after he ended up getting out of the Wolverine shit, he played in a jungle movie. Or he was like a zookeeper. What the fuck was it, bro?
You talking about that whoa.
I forgot what this shit was. Either he was a zookeeper or he had something to do with the jungle. One of the two.
I don't know. My dumb ass was going to say Tropic Thunder, but that was Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, yeah. What a superhero, yeah.
And,
hey, is that the only blackface we're gonna forgive?
Yes. Because he was a dude playing a dude. This guy's another dude.
Facts.
Wait, what?
He was a dude.
He was a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Yes.
They built that into the movie.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, are we reviewing Jungle Cruise too? Jungle Cruise looks interesting.
You can pay $30.
I really want to see that.
I'm going to the movies. I'm paying my 10.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really pay my 10 and pay that 30. I did not know y'all was paying that though. That's cool.
I'm not paying shit.
That's if you want certain
I waited.
movies.
Yeah, I waited till Raya and the Last Dragon was free to go watch that.
That's nuts, bro. I'll just pay my $10 or my $6 and go on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All right, bro. Not Edgar, but Derek, bro. Hit him with the social media, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Personal is Derek_OTS, DERRICK, the black way to spell it. And the platform, OTS guys, on the sidelines. We're on all social media platforms, OTS guys. Go to otsguys.com. You can see what we're up to. We have God, I don't even know how many shows we have anymore. But we cover everything.
Fans, you got past the ox, man.
Hey, you want to know what the next fans battle is?
What?
It's Drake versus Kanye. That's the next one. That's the next one. I didn't come up with that matchup. Our group has been talking about that on Facebook. We got like almost 600 people in the group page. For some reason, that's been like a big ticket battle that people want to see. I don't know why, but we'll do it. We'll do it because that's what the fans want to see. So, you know,
Kanye versus Drizzy. Y'all gotta get Luda involved. Did y'all already?
We did.
Luda who? Versus who?
T.I. And guess what?
You did say that. You did.
Atlanta did not show up, bro. I am so pissed off with Atlanta, y'all. I don't want to hear another thing about Atlanta versus New York because when we did the DMX Busta Rhymes matchup, New York showed up. Atlanta sucked. Atlanta fell apart like you would normally expect Atlanta to fall apart. Now the matchup was phenomenal. The matchup was phenomenal.
Luda versus T.I.
Yeah, that was like to see
Luda versus 50. Luda versus 50 would have been fire.
We can't actually do that. We can't
Luda
actually
versus
do that.
50 would have been fire, bro.
Yeah,
I'm taking 50. I'll do the 50. I'll do 50.
Yeah.
We still got to do our Wayne and Drake. We still got to do our Wayne and Drake one.
Yeah.
So whenever y'all do that 50 and Luda one, definitely give me on. I gotta put niggas on to my nigga 50 out here. Or did y'all already do a 50 Cent?
Haven't done it yet. People are still throwing out 50 versus Ja Rule.
That's a good one too.
So 50. I just the pettiness in me, bro. I just want to see it just for the pettiness. That's literally it. That's
the pettiness is gonna be the reason that 50 wins.
Yes.
All right, man. Edgar, you can hit it with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow us and like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube Q and Sign E Podcast. And our email is QANDEpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, and subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We appreciate everybody that dropped in the live stream today. We appreciate everybody. Subscribe to us on YouTube, Q and Sign E Podcast, and subscribe to my YouTube. Just type in Quincy Hicks into the search bar and definitely subscribe. We appreciate you guys for listening, and we out. Peace.